why there's no gambling sponsors in the CDL, I'm sure that's one that's not really
his call. Gotcha.
Up to him.
Zinnu's less ball than he thinks. Because I would say Daniel is. Here's how I would phrase when it comes to the league. If it's not a money question, yes, Daniel will probably be the person making the decision with his team. If it's a money question, there is someone above Daniel who that's going to get kicked to, and that person who kind of sits above CDL and OWL or OWCS now, that person is actually the one that's going to make the decision. Fun fact.
You know what I mean?
They should allow it though. I mean
like team pack stuff, like
no, but he's talking about legal stuff.
Are willing to do and how quick they're willing to do it. Like there is a lot of hoops and ladders.
No, he's talking about like Call of Duty Business Unit, Activision Legal, on like MTX, on like bigger legal questions. Like I'm saying, literally, like when it comes to the CDL, I'm gonna make it even more clear. When it comes to the CDL and CDL format decisions, shit like that, that's Daniel. If it comes to money spent on CDL, like actually spending dollars and cents out of CDL's budget, there is a person above Daniel, I think technically above Daniel, who sits above CDL and OWCS that does make that decision.
And that's one that's not really heavily involved, sure, but like,
I'll back it up, chat.
If you ask why there's no gambling sponsors in the CDL, I'm sure that's one that's not really
his call. Gotcha.
Up to him. You know what I mean?
They should allow it though. I mean
like team pack stuff, like what the developers are willing to do and how quick they're willing to do it. Like there is a lot of hoops and ladders and different. I mean, you're working with multiple different game studios. Activision is literally a behemoth, fucking multi-billion dollar franchise. So it's like, I'm sure there's definitely some hurdles, but
yeah,
no, I don't know.
The common theme was you guys.
No, chat. When you're arguing with me, that's not all what he said.
Guys speaking as the community.
You got about 85% of the way there, bro. You got about 85% of the way there. You're so close.
Some data.
So close, bro.
That,
so close.
Somehow, like.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the data.
Yeah,
like
it was a lot of data.
I'm going to be golfing on Thursday.
Because everything's changed since back then. If anything, yes, we have more viewership now than back then. So let's try what worked back then and build hype, and let's see what people think. In my opinion, this community is ran by the community, and they have a very overwhelming opinion about most of these topics, and I feel like I agree with them on most of them.
That's the part I don't understand is like.
So it's like, what that like who is this data that like who the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It seems like everyone that you talk to, like even us, like we're just getting into it like fairly recently. It's like everyone you talk to has the exact
You're like
same
5
opinion.
minutes, chat.
Like everyone wants the same thing.
Yeah, we talked about the CDL last week on the show, and like some of the comments were like, "Oh, look, another fucking COD podcast talking about like they want the open bracket back," and it's like, okay, well if that's the sentiment that it's like an echo chamber, then fucking bring it back.
Exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing. If we bring something back and it doesn't work, this isn't the Constitution. We can change it quick. I've never understood that. We're acting like we need to fucking act with like, what's wrong with trying something? And if it doesn't work, we switch it up.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I don't see the downside.
Yeah, no. It's like, yeah, do a year of all.
I agree. And that's a good reason. That's why I think the one thing that I was a little skeptical about this season, and I didn't think that the Birmingham thing really was executed. I don't think it really worked. But I didn't mind this season that they're A/B testing quite a few things. They A/B tested the Monster Pro-Am in the beginning of the year. They're A/B tested the Birmingham format with the full round robin, and then only 10 teams go. I didn't think they hit. They're doing the Pro-Am in 2 weeks. That's also a data point. Like they're trying shit. They tried coaches on stage last year. Like they're trying shit. I think the 2 best of 7s like hard stuck idea they have kind of sucks because I think they're just wrong. And everybody in the community thinks they're wrong and they're sticking their guns on it and it sucks. Like they are trying shit this year. I will give them credit. Like they are trying things.
All open brackets. Bro, by the second one.
I think the Birmingham format was. I don't know. I don't know if it worked or didn't work. I feel like it was. I think it was. I don't know.
These are fucking awful.
I didn't walk away from it like, you know,
teams.
Yeah.
like we should do that for every major.
Yeah.
So
Other than single round robin, I
there's a
think we
lot
should
of
do that for every
disconnect,
major.
unfortunately.
I think we should do that for every major. But we also need tournaments. It's a whole thing. I'll explain another time.
I don't know where every conversation gets to, but it was a little surprising this time around.
But back to
good for the sport.
back to your original question though. I didn't, getting into this, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be like a straight fun, just hanging with the guy. This shit's fucked up, man. This shit got me fucked up.
Yeah.
You're babysitting, you're fucking grinding out social clips, you're worried about buyouts, you're worried about feeding your guy. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this shit.
Yeah, when to put the guys to bed
As
on the
far as their
road,
manager,
they
I mean,
want to
that
stay
makes
up till
sense.
4 a.m. It's like,
They've been
hey,
terrible.
let's shut the lights off. Let's go to bed now. It's bedtime. Come on, Byron, go to bed.
No more reels. No more reels.
Dude, that gamer schedule is dirty.
Oh yeah, I can't get off it.
It's like not even a real human. Like, you interact with a real human that wakes up at 6 a.m., drinks their coffee. I mean, you tell them you wake up at noon, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Guys,
It's
the
crazy.
best of
When I was
7 thing
18,
that
I was
they're on
sleeping till 2
about,
p.m.
they're just wrong.
Wow.
So,
My parents
like,
used to come make sure
we
I
can have a
wasn't
12
dead.
round
They were
knockout
like,
battle. I don't think they're gonna change their mind,
You all right?
which is sad.
Little Cup Elite Major.
It's always different.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
up
but it
I'm
does-
up at like 3:30 in the morning.
He took TJ Watt out of his Twitter bio and lives.
Hey, you got my boy Cammy though. I mean, I think Cammy's perfect for. I'm not sure if you guys have experienced Cammy's personality like fully yet, but he is hilarious, dude.
We get bits and pieces, over the comms and stuff.
He's
but
one of the funniest. You don't
Yeah.
understand. I mean, I teamed with him back in Toronto, so I've known him for like what? When was that? 7 years now? 6? Oh fuck, 7 or 6 years. I forget if I was benched on Toronto during that or if I was on Boston. I forget when that exactly was, or if he was I don't know. That's all a blur back then. I mean, you got to realize being in this community your whole life. These days, these years blend together. It's crazy.
I'm trying to skip through it just to get the end shot.
Percent
There we go.
search. That's a terrifying match.
Never know.
Got to make it work.
Possible.
All right, boys.
Later, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
I
you.
appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
Hey,
Thank you.
boys.
Big week. The path is there. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be
You
there.
shit
We'll
the
probably
lineup
be
for
live
them.
a little bit early. Maybe we'll watch the Group A games or something. But that's the path. P7 needs to win. Omit needs to win. Bush needs to win, and we're in the playoffs. And it's a whole different ball game.
Boy of filth, you can't have just those finals on Sunday. It makes too many matches on Friday and Saturday. The problem on Sunday is not the fact that they play from top 4 on. The problem is that the grand finals format needs to be better. I think that's the only change you need to make. You finally have Sunday set up where it goes challengers, grand finals, losers, semis, winners, finals, losers, finals, grand finals. They just need to fix the grand finals format and it will be much better. They can't overcorrect. I keep saying this to everybody. They got to be very careful because once you start making it too tilted in the winner's finals favor, it's going to be fucking blowouts. And then we're going to complain that the grand finals are boring. So, they got to find the right avenue to make the vetoes a little bit more fair and more of an advantage for the winner's team. They got to figure out if we want to straight best of 7 or best of 9 or whatever. They still got to iron it out. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't eliminate more matches on Sunday, to be honest. I don't really think that's going to fix anything. It's going to make it worse, actually, and more boring. Yes, vetoes matter. Don't let anyone tell you they don't matter, because they fucking do. I explained one scenario, Sam explained another of finals where vetoes has absolutely fucking mattered. So, there's other things they need to do. They can't just change vetoes and call it a day. There's other things they got to be able to do. But the vetoes do fucking matter. So, where's Ant's fucking Discord? Yo. All right, Jack, quick commercial break. I got to piss before the show, so be right back. CoDCast coming up here in about 5 minutes. Absolutely. Should be a good episode. I want to also address, while I wait for Nameless, I want to address this tweet because I saw a lot of discourse around this tweet. First off, online viewership is going to be really difficult to... It's going to be really hard to get significant online viewership in April on purely competitive play. If you have some kind of pro-am influencer thing online with big creators, they can really pump these numbers. But realistically, like maximum they're going to get to if they get lucky is 200 if it like all lines up. Especially in April. People have other shit going on. They don't care about COD as much. They got their heads down in school, their heads down their job. It's a grind period for people until the summer. And then once the summer happens, they want to go outside and fucking have a life. So it's going to be impossible to get good viewership in the spring. And this is why I hate online league matches, because nobody's going to give a fuck about those matches. What this shows me, and where I think the league needs to do a better job, is I'm talking about, when I talk about this, the USA conditions. I think the biggest takeaway I have from this is I would love to know, and I'm going to ask Daniel this in the next conversation we have, how much the league is spending on marketing in non-English speaking countries. How much is spending on marketing in French? How much is spending on marketing in Spanish? How much is spending on marketing in Arabic? And if the answer is we're not, then they need to be. They need to be spending money on the three biggest non-English languages that match the three teams that get played in this league. There's a big French audience, there's a big Spanish audience, and there's a big MENA audience. And they need to be starting to market in those regions and start attracting new viewers in those regions. They're not, especially in MENA, that's not like super esports developed, because Spain and France, esports have been there for a while. But like, they got to start tapping in a bit more into those non-English speaking markets. I don't think the league doesn't have official French, Spanish, and Arabic accounts. In fact, I'm about to tweet Daniel about this. Actually, I'm going to text. I know who I should text. I know who could actually get this. I got a guy. Yo, what's good, Ant?
What's up, bro?
Not much. Just yapping.
Said yapping?
Yeah, you know me. We're live. We're just yapping, bro.
Love it. I feel like shit, dude.
Like sick?
Yeah.
I don't like to hear that.
I think I just got,
I'm gonna get sick.
I got sunburned yesterday, and I think I was just super dehydrated.
Yeah, I was pretty tired after yesterday.
And we went out to eat at that Umi place. It was pretty good, but I ate, I think, too much, and now I'm one shot, bro.
Well, you got a lot of time to recover before Friday.
Yep.
When you guys sit there and watch some great matches, such as Thieves versus fucking C9. and Optic versus Boston.
Yep, I'm just more so hoping I feel good by Thursday so we can play.
Are we golfing on Thursday?
Yo, I bought I kind of want to, but I gotta wait to see how I feel tonight.
Yeah, you tell me about the hybrid. Also, you should respond to Rich. You
bought
should Rich in the group text because he's down to play on Monday. He just didn't
Yeah,
know.
well, just gotta figure out about tonight.
All right.
Bro, I bought a QI 35-2 hybrid, and the same exact hybrid that I have, but 5 hybrid for this stuff. I'm gonna replace my 3-wood. I'm gonna trade that in. Replace it with 2 hybrid.
Visioner, I haven't
and
actually.
replace my 5 iron.
Visioner, I haven't got an answer yet on your question. I'm working on it. I would say you should, if you're gonna shoot it, I would bring a light though. I have a feeling it's gonna be dark again. Also, probably.
Yo, Ben, can you send me the cam links?
I can send you mine. We don't have Ray's yet because he's not here. You want me to send him in one go once he joins?
Yeah, you can just send it when he joins. I'm not even live yet.
Yeah, I was just talking about this minor one
Speaking
viewership
of which-
thing. I was giving my takeaway on it, which I think I have a pretty good
Yeah, we're gonna
nuanced
talk
take
about
on
it a
this
little bit.
these days. Yeah. I was watching.
While we wait for Ray, I'm gonna go get another cup of coffee real quick.
All right, we're caffeinate, brother. Yeah, it should be illegal to cheat in video games. We've talked about that. It actually should be a federal fucking crime, honestly. How does marketing in foreign countries affect the format change? Marketing in other countries is going to drive new viewers, which is going to open off new marketing opportunities and new markets to tap into. Potentially new partners and sponsors are going to want to get involved to market those new viewers in specific regions. Yo, it's good.
What up, what up, what up?
Yeah, Miss Ray.
Let me put my camera up.
Yeah, and just getting some more coffee and he'll be right back.
Coffee?
Yeah. I'm already thinking almost
Smart man. Smart man.
Ray, do you agree with me yesterday? Okay, this happened 2 nights ago. That puck fully crossed the line in the Edmonton game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are people on.
It's more. I think it's more because the replay in sports is always proven. You have to prove fully if something was called the other way. So I'm assuming the play was called no. Was the play called no goal on the ice?
No, they called it a goal on the ice. It took a second for them to make the call, but they called it a goal on the ice.
I mean, I don't know why people are freaking out then, to be honest.
I think what they do need to do is they just need to put another line. It'll be very simple. If you put another line behind that line that's like 3 inches and it touches that line.
That's what I saw people.
And the puck is 100% across. And it's going to make it a little bit easier. Because, like, you can't. Bro, it's an overhead cam, and if the goalie's trying to squeeze on top of it, it's just shit's always going to happen.
I mean, it could go the same the other way if the pad was behind the goal line. Like, there's always been that thing. I think they did the right thing in, like, just seeing the puck shape and where the center of the mass of the puck was. Like, it was kind of obvious it was cross line.
Yeah.
And I think people, again, forget that in sports, if the refs call it one way, the video evidence has to prove undoubtedly that it goes the other way for it to be turned over. And you could see there that there's no, I mean, you couldn't even see a puck if it crossed or not fully because the red line was covered. So to me, that automatically says it's a good goal anyways. So I don't know.
Yo. Send me the cams. What up, Ray?
What up?
You know, send the cams right now.
I'm on VOD Ninja, yeah?
Yeah, I just got to send the links to it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree with you, Ray.
What's
it was
happening?
definitely a goal. There's no way it
hockey?
wasn't. Yeah, we're talking about hockey, yeah.
Who are you a fan of, Ray?
That's a bad question, Ant. Next question.
Wait, why?
You said, who am I a fan of?
Yeah, in hockey.
Where am I from, Ant?
Montreal.
I'm a fan of Montreal Canadiens, my brother.
Are they still in?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're it's 2-2 versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Your shit's going
I'll be
7,
honest.
bro.
I didn't even know Montreal had
Probably,
a team, bro.
yeah.
I don't
God
really watch
damn.
hockey.
That
Well,
shit's
every
going
time I've
7.
asked somebody about hockey, I'm like,
You're good, bro. You're good.
I need I would love to get into it, but
It's so sick, bro.
maybe later in life. I got a lot going on.
Oh, you're about to have a lot of time to do nothing with a baby on your chest, so.
Oh yeah. Well,
Do I think Flyers
No better
Penguins
time.
go 7? I mean, it depends on if fucking
I'm gonna
Philly
do a
wins.
lot of mock drafts.
Philly can win, they close it out. If not, that shit is guaranteed 7. There's no chance. The Flyers lose game 6 or lose game 5. They're losing game 6. It's like the reverse of that Rangers Penguin series from like forever ago. Where Pittsburgh ended up on the other side of that.
Flyers are like gritty, bro. Like they might go deep.
I don't know, but they're starting to blow this series though. They lost 2 in a row now.
Yeah, I mean it's Sid the Kid, bro. Sid ain't going out. He ain't going out like that.
Yeah, but Sid got lucky because he missed 2 empty netters yesterday.
Yeah,
and then fucking Martone actually got a good look at the end of the game and like he got
one
saved.
of them was a dive with one hand. It's not like
I know that one was tough.
Like
the other one he could. The other one he should have scored though. The other one he should have scored.
The fact he almost scored that was kind of insane. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he missed it!" Bro, that was a sick play.
The other one he should have scored though. The other one he should have scored.
I don't think I saw the other one. So
the other one should have scored.
Bro.
As a Leafs fan, hoping a Canadian team can win it. I got bad news for you, brother. I don't think that's happening. Happening this year.
The bad news was said when he said as a Leafs fan. That's just bad news to start.
You're just already fucked. You're just already screwed at that point. Yeah, I sent to you.
That's tough world to be in right now. You guys should trade Matthews, bro. They should get rid of that. Guys need a major culture shift.
Yeah.
Because it is not working out there right now. They've had way too much talent to not be playing as good as they are.
At least they got Buffalo. Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to close out tonight.
Sounds like you guys are describing a COD team.
Yeah, I think we have quite a few COD teams.
Yeah, the Leafs are basically a COD team, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready? I'm going to go live.
Yeah, let me know when you're live.
Dang. I am now.
Let me mute that and just talk my stream until that's going to go. All right, chat. You know the deal. I'm going to have Ant stream up here in a second once it's live. You know how it goes. I'm behind my cam. If you guys sub or resub, I'll shout you out in the textual chat, but not like live unless you drop like a mega bomb during the show. And yeah, it's going to be a good pod. I think we got a lot to talk about today. So give me a second to get all the audio sorted here. Let me hide my camera real quick. You're going to hear Ant. You're not going to hear me for a sec, but it's okay. Give me a minute to fix it, and we will get right into it.
Kind of go back to crap.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm just a hybrid player, bro.
I think you're just a hybrid player.
No, like actually, no troll. Like it's literally perfect ball flight every time. Like the exact same number.
It's because of your swing. The way you swing the ball, your numbers matches up well with that club.
Yeah, it just matches up well. I mean,
you need to. We need you to get you in a place where everything's good.
Well, so here, this quick breakdown of my game is the hybrids are all great, and then anything like 8 iron and down is good. Like I can hit like the number on 8 iron down. Like I feel confident. Like anything like 130 and in, I feel really just like good. Any hybrid, I'm just a fucking dot with. Yeah, just like I don't know why, but dot with. Yeah, I think it's just my game. I don't know why, but it's fun. Yeah, I think it's just my game. I'm just gonna play like that. Yeah, fun.
Can you mute in the knock? Thank you.
Like legit, you guys been like it's literally the same ball flight every time.
Yeah, because you come in super open and you're putting like hella side spin on your ball, so that's why your wedges, like you're not like squaring.
Well, my wedges go dead straight. What do you mean? They're just all just like straight up dead straight.
I don't think we're looking at the same ball flight.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. I mean, most of your wedge shots. I'm gonna be candid, Ant. Most of your wedge shots are like Yeah, but you can't. You're the problem that I had a couple years ago, where you're like you come in open on the wedges and they go right and short because you're getting too much side spin on it.
Yeah, I don't
But now
remember
you're
that
not
really
over-
happening in the last couple of rounds, but
over
that
the-
used to be my problem for sure. But these last 2 rounds, they've just been going just straight, exactly where I want them. Sometimes they end
Yeah,
up
I
a little
mean, you're
short
a
because
couple
I get
of
under
shots
it, but
yesterday.
they definitely weren't going right.
Now your pitch is now really good. That's where you're getting your best contact right now. Is those like pitches? Your it swings a little bit more simple, and you're squaring it, and you're getting like a really good ball flight on it. I couldn't, bro. Yesterday I couldn't fucking. Second half of the round, I couldn't fucking find a fairway, and it was tilting me because I was actually hitting my iron so well.
I know I'm loud, chat. I'm about to fix this. Sorry. No, but Ray, deadass. I think I was like with the hybrid. I was literally like every fairway hybrid. I bought a new one last night. Dude, I bought a new one last night. I was like, fuck.
We still need to get your swing fixed up.
Yeah, no, it is getting better. I've been practicing in the living room, recording videos. But yeah, I just gotta
We need you to get you to Rotato.
Dude, it's hard, bro. Hips don't want to move sometimes.
That's the problem when you first start playing golf is your brain thinks you actually need to swing at the ball, and the mentality is more like through the ball. So you're not actually like, in a weird way, you're not actually trying to do anything to get your hands and your arms to the ball. It's just the rotation of your body will do that, and then gravity takes over.
Yeah.
That's a problem that Merck has right now.
Yeah,
he's so focused on trying to square it.
Everyone,
But
everyone
he's not falling through, and he's like, it's affecting his swing path because he's trying to like, it's like your body, your brain will align all of the things. This is because like this is when I play the best ball, like your body will align all the other things to go through it. But like my swing thought of trying to finish high is forcing me to actually like keep that path on play and stay in the slot, and then like actually rotate and come around it and like finish the swing, so I'm not like, coming across and like towing the ball, and you know what I'm saying?
My swing feels pretty pure now. I'm turning more. I could probably get down there faster.
I'm gonna tell you, you're literally like you're 20% of where you need to be in terms of turning.
Yeah, no, it's hard, bro, to get that shit moving.
I know, trust me.
But I will say what I fixed.
Golf is hard.
What I fixed this year, Ray, and it is 9 day from last year, is I don't sway. Like I don't sway anymore. Like on my backswing,
that's good.
My back stays straight. It's a nice coil, turn, load, and I just gotta like there's the random shots where I will get my hips into it more, but for the most part, it's like it's my hips trying to catch up sometimes still. That's why I have like even on like a good shot for me, it's still like a 5 to 10 yard fade. Like it's not dead straight.
I mean, that's more pat. That's just because again, no rotation. So if you put your arms back at the top of the golf swing, you just move your arms only, you're going to come over the top.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely move my hips slightly, but it's just not enough. All right, let me start recording this. I
got an hour and 45 minutes.
That's all. Yeah. Same. All right. Hold up. Discord or OBS is doing that shit where I click recording and glitches. So just give it a second.
Okay. Oh, bro, I need a haircut, and I'm just trying to wait till next week.
Why?
Because I want to get it nice and short for Atlanta.
Hey, when's Atlanta?
Not next weekend, the weekend after.
Yeah, I gotta let them know if I'm going or not. I don't think I'm going.
Why not? Because of baby?
Yeah. All right, guys. Hello and welcome to the CoDCast. We are back for another episode, and Raymundo is back. It's the NHL playoffs, so he's absolutely dialed. We had the minor tournament.
Hey, I was never gone. Explain to the audience what happened last week.
Okay, so quick explanation. Me and Ben have been golfing a lot. Like a lot. I got my son's coming. I wanted to get a lot of golfing before he was here. So we're on the golf course. We're having a good time. We're both playing pretty well. And me and Ben are like, yo, when are we going to do the CoDCast? We're like, yo, tomorrow at noon. I whip out my phone. I like swipe up to the search function. I just type in Rambo. I text that Rambo immediately. I go, yo, CoDCast tomorrow at noon. So me and Ben get on for the CoDCast at noon. And we're like, I guess Ray just said, fuck it. He's busy. He's not here. It was the wrong Rambo. It was the old number. So it's completely on me. Ray was available. And just horrible.
I was on a stream that day. It's like, yo, you missed the CoDCast. I'm like, what? We did a CoDCast today?
And it was a good episode. There's a lot that we'll probably rehash like a bit, at least about meta. We'll have a small conversation about that. But we're gonna focus on the minor. I had an awesome time watching it, guys. Like it was really fun. Stuff off the rip. The minor one viewership breakdown, peak 151K, down 1%. I think minor 2 last year was February 27th to March 3rd, so a bit earlier in the game cycle. And the average was down 17%. Most viewed match was Thieves versus Optic. I do know NBA playoffs are going on as well, so there's kind of a lot going on, but I do overall think that this is still pretty solid. Ben, I know you had some insights you were talking with your chat about. If you want to share them here, that'd be great. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good result for the minor.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not going to be easy to get viewership in the spring and the summer because we're 6 months removed from the game being out and people are really just doing other shit, focus on other stuff. There's NBA, NHL playoffs going on, school, we're getting to the end of the year and people are really locked in. It's spring, so people are trying to focus on getting, at this point, projects done for the end of the quarter. And in the summer soon, then people are going to be going outside, or they may already be going outside because it's weather's good outside. So it's like you're competing with all of those things, and it's very difficult for them to hit like a 2 or a 250 mark for online matches. I do think that one thing I would love to start seeing with these stats is like the actual language split with the charts that Intel CDL is posting via eSport charts. Like how much is English viewership, how much is French viewership, how much is Spanish, how much of it is Arabic? Because I would love to start knowing more of the ebb and flow, especially during this time of the year in all of those regions. And that may be better suited to like give a little bit of a better spin on maybe where there's like opportunity to reach new viewers or activate certain parts of that viewer base. But I'm gonna be honest, like 150K peak viewer for an online weekend in the middle of April is really not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Ray, from your perspective, how was the minor watch? Like I thought it was a really fun tournament, man.
We had some of the best matches we had all year, and some of the best map we had honestly in years. That phase overload map was against Miami was probably the coolest map we've had, and I can't remember last time we had a map as cool as that. That was sick.
Man.
Just
I'll
back
never
and forth.
forget that.
That was back and forth, just nonstop, just pure good defense on both sides. Like it really, that was like the highest level overload I think we've seen in a minute.
I agree.
Just from both teams. So I mean, obviously, just besides the fact that it was a minor, I just think the matches were great this weekend. It showed, it kind of rearranged some of the mentalities we have for certain teams. And I know you guys kind of overviewed the meta last week, but I think the meta has really, really helped some of the teams that were lacking pace before kind of sync up to where they're playing at the speed they need to play to be able to compete with the best teams. Which, honestly, it's kind of, it's always the hardest for the best teams to remain on top when there's such a shift like this. Like obviously new maps will change the map pool, but I feel like the weapons themselves have like reduced the optic, whatever other teams like optic phase, like margin, the gap. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. The gap between them and the rest of the league by a significant amount. I don't want to say the meta reduced some of the skill gap itself, like the playing skill gap, but it's definitely made the decision making that you need to have to be able to compete at the highest level in this game a lot easier, a lot more obvious, like instinctive, just because of the sheer fact that the NPC is so much better close range. It kind of forces the subs to now get close range rather than play the mentality that they just need to hold angles. While before we had Optic just kind of like, Optic was kind of playing at the pace he needed to play, just being constantly aggressive with their subs. Now it's everyone doing it because of the gun itself. At least that's the feeling it gets from the feeling I'm seeing from the outside. So I think we're set up to see a lot of like really good matches between, like, honestly, I would argue we have like a 6-team league now at the very top. Yeah. Maybe I don't know if I want to say S tier just yet, but like we definitely have a lot more kind of it's gonna be a lot more fun down the stretch.
There's
to make
more
Sundays
threats.
Or even Sundays.
There's definitely more threats. Like, and then I heard what you said, and I agree, and I think chat might take it in a different way. I don't think it lowers the skill gap. I think also with the maps, I think there's just more variety, bro. Like, I mean, you guys talking about like lowering the skill gap. I've seen people talking about that throughout this weekend. They're probably mainly just talking about Colossus and the way Heretics was just running around, but that's just their play style. Obviously the NPC is gonna help on a map like that. But to be fair, those guys overhauled their gameplay. Super and Rancor way faster throughout this weekend, and just also just like an overview of the weekend. and the way the matches went, dude, the minor tournament, it felt like teams were desperate for wins, bro. Like, this was way different than just online league matches. Like, these guys were going hard, like tournament atmosphere, which I just thought was great. You know, a nice change of pace from our usual online league matches. But before we get into Heretics and Thieves, let's talk about some of the teams that bombed out. We got to do it. And let's start with G2, 0-3 to LA Thieves. They're kind of in limbo. And I want to start with you, Ben. Is there a way out of this, or are they just playing for TA at this point?
I think that they're one of those teams. This is like similar to Boston last year, where it's like, I think from everything I've heard about that team, like they have a very good team unit, and like their the vibes are good, they're locked in, but they have a skill issue against some of the better teams. They just get whomped because they just can't play at the pace or match the gunpowder of these teams, and they're kind of hoping and praying that like the team aspect comes around at the end of the year and they make champs and they play well at champs and that's their mark. But like, I just don't know how replicable that Boston T3 from last year is. And I feel like it's so obvious to me and everybody else on planet Earth that like one of their ARs got to go if they want to try and increase their floor a bit more. I don't know if they'll do it, but I think that's just the easiest thing they can do.
Yeah. I mean, I agree at this point. If they want, because all these other teams are getting better. Like if they want to make that push, they probably need to explore, you know, replacing one of the ARs. I don't know which one, whatever they decide, you know, what they're losing in leadership with Skies or, you know, in versatility with Mamba. But yeah, all the other teams are getting better. Where are you at with G2, Ray? We talked about them last week and you weren't here. So
yeah, I think all year what I've felt was this, kind of the same thing these guys have been going through for a while now. It's consistency aspect of things. Like they'll have days where they just look incredible and then the next day they just don't. It's hard to kind of pinpoint if it's individuality, if it's just kind of the team's thought process in certain instances, the readability of certain situations. Like
they're readable.
I really have a hard time from the outside without really knowing what's going on the inside to put my finger on what's going on, what's kind of leading to these inconsistencies. Because we've seen him be incredible like third year, and we've also seen him be bad. Like again, they lost 3-0 to the team that ended up winning the minors, so I don't want to look at it too much for this match specifically. Just from the baseline, like if we talk about the ceiling of this team, is it high enough to really like compete for wins? As of right now, it'd be hard to say yes, just because of the recent times and kind of what you guys talked about, like how other teams are leveling up and these guys haven't necessarily moved in any direction for a minute.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten worse.
Changes are always tough to me, man. Like it's I get it. Like I get the idea and why we talk about these things from the outside, but dude, there's so much. I don't feel like it definitely can make them better, but I feel like in some cases, and I feel like in this case specifically, it could also make them worse. And as a team, I know Pat said this all the time, like, why is the team not looking to win everything? And I completely get that. Every team's goal, every player's goal entering a year and a season, or even right now, his goal is to win. Like they're all gonna play their best and do their best to improve behind the scenes so that they have the best chance. They give themselves the best chance to win with what they have. This organization has missed the playoffs for the last 2 years. They're in a spot right now where I don't want to say they're guaranteed, but it'd be hard for them to fall out of the top 8 because of the 9th and 10th position being so far back. And Carolina and Vancouver aren't really showing. I mean, Vancouver maybe a little bit, but Carolina's not showing any signs of really playing catch up right now. So it'd be hard pressed for them to bump out of the top 8 and not. I feel
like that argument. I feel like that argument helps the case of making a change, though. Like your whole point,
I agree.
Like people's whole point of like keeping the team is because they're in, but like you can afford like a quick drop off or to bomb out the rest of the stage, really. And also, like when you look at them outside of the C9 match, they haven't won Game 5 in any of these series. They've been getting blown the fuck out. And like when I think about this team, all right, like just to bring up metrics a little bit, they're like 10th in overall team KD. And I do feel like they play the game like somewhat decent. Like it is, to me, they're like the one team in like the top 8 where I'm like, it's a clear firepower issue at times for them, right? And
that could be fair. Who would you pick up though? Like that's kind of always a discussion.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like who is a player that you feel is going to for sure, like not for sure because you never know for sure, but that has the best chances to provide the extra firepower that this team is missing. And even then, like you said, they're 10th in KD. And what's the margin on that? What did they have? Like point?
I can pull it up on the. Give me.
It's gotta be
Isn't there like a 0.97? Like there's a lot of teams floating around like a 0.99, like one, but they're like just below that cut.
So it's like, one player really going to kind of affect that in a very positive way? Like that's more where
I think so, Ray. And the problem is the best players to pick up would have been like when we were talking about this issue 3 months ago. And we said they should pick up like a Kipster and Nissim, and they didn't choose to make an action then. We were talking about maybe it can make sense. They didn't make an action then. And like you look at challengers right now, and like I'll be honest, the problem they have now is like does BENJ move the needle for them? Does Wake move the needle for them? Geo, like, do you want to go with a little bit more unproven situation like a Millie or an Aluka? Like, I think now it's like they missed out on the like first couple of guys that got picked up, and Kips has come in the league. He's played pretty great. Nissim, I thought was really good this weekend on the Thieves team that just won the event. Like you've now kind of missed maybe the best options that were down there, and now it's like you got to actually do the scouting and try and figure it out. It's tough, bro.
Yeah, they're 92. It's a 0.99 in overall. In overload, it is a 0.92. So I mean, overload, they're kind of getting slammed.
I mean, it is the most like I guess CDM centric mode we have.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean,
don't know. It's tough, man. I'm not like I'm here what you guys are saying, and I think from an outside perspective, it makes total sense. Like. If you really want to give yourself a chance, and it does shift the mindset a little bit because they are somewhat safe to be at champs, then you have the opportunity to make a change. Again, it's just to me, for them, it has to be a change that you know is going to make them better. That you have a really good idea is going to make them better. Obviously, you don't know for sure, but I just don't know who comes to mind.
They got to stop running into LA Thieves. They played them 3 times in the last like couple weeks, and it's a bad matchup. Like G2 just plays straight up. Thieves really like it when teams do that, and they just blitz them and then they just team gap them. So yeah, I mean, I think if they keep this team, which I'm not like super mega against, they have to hard focus on S&D like they were early in the year. They were a top 3 search team. They were super prepared coming in, hitting people with pre-nades, and it just worked. And Skies was hitting snipes, and they've just gotten away from that. I can't tell you the last game I remember Skies taking over with the sniper. I mean, I guess the Genomates game, he had a good one versus...
I mean, that's going to get harder as the year goes on because teams are understanding of where certain players go. And
yeah, but you got to adapt. You got to figure something else out then, right?
Yeah, you got to be more creative with it. 100%.
Well, let me put it to you this way: is that the likelihood of G2 getting a top 4 seed is pretty low right now. My model gives them a less than 1% chance of getting 3rd and less than 1% chance of getting 4th. The most likely scenarios are the 8th seed through the 11th seed. But do you really think that when a push comes to shove and they're in that Pro-Am group, they maybe win or lose the first match, lose against the top seed team in their seed, and have to play that other team again, which could be a Carolina or a Riyadh Falcons or a Miami or a Vancouver or a Gentlemates or maybe a Toronto? Are they winning that match? Right now, I'm saying no. And that's the spot that they're in because I feel like they just get diffed by those teams. And so if they're content with bumps as a vet, not getting out of groups, then like that's kind of the path they're on at the moment, to your point. Unless they get more access, need to bail out, or they find more slaying.
They have options. They can go through this next major. They played Riyadh last tournament and blitzed their shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So like Riyadh, they could definitely beat. Like
I still think this team's a middle pack team. We can't talk about this team being like a bottom 4 team. Like it's not like they didn't just go away.
They just got low floor though, Ray. That's the issue. Their floor is so low right now.
They do have a low floor.
I think it's more their ceiling that's low, in my opinion. I don't think their floor is that low.
I think that's also true.
Yeah, it's also true.
I don't think their floor is that low, to be honest. I think we've seen him be inconsistent.
Mean, Ray, they've lost. Look, they were on like a 14 respawn losing streak until they played C9. Their floor is definitely. Their floor is literally just getting slammed.
Who'd they lose to?
In all those matches, teams. Texas, Thieves, Vancouver, Mates, Thieves again.
Vancouver's not a good one.
Yeah, but I mean, even that though, like you should be taking maps, bro. Like at least a couple maps. Here. They were getting cooked.
I mean, if we're getting outslayed by 1 million against good teams, then that's probably not going to happen.
The remaining 3 matches to split are Miami, Boston, and Thieves.
Well, the new maps are 0 and 3 on in Hardpoint, which is just not great. in S&D, they haven't even played either of the new maps, which is also not great. So it doesn't feel like the new map set is helping them at all. And then obviously the new meta, because Mambo nor Skies are a great SMG, right? So they're just kind of everything's catering against them. And it's the point of the season where everybody catches up in search. So like Mini's just they're in a really bad spot. They're lucky that they have 165 points, put it that way.
Falcons
They're
may
in
also
those
be
points.
roster change territory soon. Like they need to hedge or think about making a change here soon, because when they fucking decide to do it after this major, they may not be number one in the pecking order of where somebody wants to go to. Maybe it works out because for champs qualification purposes.
Wait, why not? They should be one in the pecking order for changes. What do you mean?
Yeah, but what if Gentlemates has another bad split and they end up making a roster change, or Falcons does? Those are options above Minnesota, and they may not get the guy they want.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
You got to move quicker than everybody else.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is like whoever Gentlemates drop, you just pick up then. Like it's not really like I don't think it's that hard of a decision then, right? So you're kind of not in the worst spot.
Listen, here's my problem. My G2, like they play Miami, Boston, and Thieves, bro. They're getting maximum one win. I feel like if you had to project that out, and then they're going to go to groups, and I think they can win one, but I think they're not getting out of groups. And like, what's your reflection? You got basically like, fucking 12th of this tournament. Yeah, you're qualified for champs because Carolina and Vancouver haven't played good enough this year, but like, we're just going to go to champs and get rounded. Are we down for that? Like, we want to try and improve that? Like, I don't know.
Let's wait to see this week and see them on some of the new maps. You would imagine, Ray, especially you as a coach, you're this team. This is their golden hour. Like, yeah, let me get into minor coach for a second. So if you're G2 and you're in this slump, right? What's the main focus? It's obviously fixing the problems, but wouldn't it be like focusing on the new maps and like getting an edge on the new maps?
I mean, that's what every team is gonna do. I think to me, the big, like we talked about this team not being super great at search recently. Like that's where my focus would be, is to get back to a place where I can find, like, try and get ahead in that mode, especially with the new maps, so that I'm not guaranteeing, but I'm giving myself the best chance possible to win those maps in a series. And then, like, the respawn stuff really just comes down to adapting to the meta. Like, I think what you brought up about the fact that those guys don't necessarily like, their arrows don't like using subs, I think is a huge, if that's, have we seen them play the new maps where they're not using subs? Like, we saw Super all weekend run a sub on most of the maps.
I don't remember Skies having a sub or Mambo ripping with a sub either. So like,
okay, because that would be like somewhat of an issue, just because if that's what the meta is shifting to and NPC is actually that good, then like you have to adapt and do that, or else you're just gonna fall behind. So I don't know. It's tough, but I would definitely focus. To me, is the win con for the teams that are falling behind. I mean, it's super obvious. You're falling behind a respawn, then get better at search.
Yeah, it is though.
But I would agree. Like, this team seemed to be out preparing somewhat ahead in terms of like the details of search early on the year, and obviously a lot of teams catch up to those details as the year goes on. But we have new maps now, so you should be able to, whatever recipe you had early on, the focus you put on to get ahead in those those maps modes, then you should hopefully bring that same kind of energy to the new maps and search, and try and find a way to get ahead there, so that you can push series deeper and give yourself more chances at the very least.
100% agree. And when I think about, the Fringe and Plaza, like, Fringe should be good for them. Good, good sniper map. Guys can just kind of hold mid, get freaky with angles, at least offensively. And then Plaza, you got Kremp, bro. Bang some stuff out. So I think we'll see those this weekend for them. But let's move on to the next team. Falcons lost 1-3 to Atlanta, or to Vegas, excuse me. Riyadh changes inbound, and if you can't drop Xnid, then what's next? So these are the two teams I think are kind of like you would hone in and be like, maybe they need to make changes. Let's start with you, Ben. What are your thoughts on Riyadh? Because they kind of look lifeless out there.
What do you mean? Like, we just assuming they can't drop Xnid?
I mean, yeah, that's everything I'm seeing. Everything that I'm hearing is that he's going to be on the team. So assuming they can't, then what do you do?
You just gotta fucking, like, they I hate to say it, but then they just gotta move on and bench AG. Like, they got. I just don't know how you can keep trotting out this 4, watching them be mega terrible in S&D. The respawn is now falling off. The trust doesn't seem to be there. Like, I just don't see where you're going to hit your ceiling as a team. And like, again, they just like with G2 are lucky that Carolina and Vancouver didn't do anything this weekend. And I don't know if they're going to do anything at
Let me
Major
set
3.
this up for chat real quick. Why we
This
talk
is
about
bad.
Riyadh
You
this
look
way.
you
Hold
look
on.
at this hardpoint record. This is bad, Ant.
I'm gonna set this up for chat why we're now talking about them this way, because I know it might feel like a stark 180 from like 2-3 episodes ago. I was so bullish
For you, maybe not for me.
Yeah, for me.
you, maybe. I've been calling for these guys to blow it up for a minute.
But I'm gonna explain this for a second real quick, because in all my years of playing COD and watching COD, I've never seen a team that was legitimately like top 2 in respawn, like blitzing teams, like putting teach tape out on maps, like playing so well, everybody peaking at the right time. Like, you know, Exon was developing, like he was a great player last split. These guys were, like, for the record, all 11 teams, top 3 in respawn. They are 1-9 in the last 10 hardpoints. Brother, the decision to trial might go down as one of the worst decisions in recent memory. Like, it just might, because they have completely compromised the team. And I know it's I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult to run a COD team, to keep morale up, to fix issues. I have been there. I have lived through it. But holy shit, man. Like, this team was close. Like, the way they handled it, I don't know exactly how it was handled, but it was it had to have been mismanaged. Point blank period, bro. Like, from top down.
They were there. They weren't close.
Listen,
They were there.
can I say real quick? The issue
they were
is
there.
not
You're
the
right,
trial.
right? They were there.
The issue is not the trial. The issue is you do the trial and then you decide, well, we're not going to make a change, but it wasn't working before. So you chose an option that was already on a path where.
Wait, stop there. Stop there before you keep going, because it was working, Ben. You have to start from a place, from like the real world. It was working, Ben. It was
online, but hold on, bro. I'm sorry, but like their issue was, yes, they were playing great in their studio, but like they would go to events and they were playing like a shell at themselves for both events. So yes, maybe it swings the other way.
You can have the floor. Give me 10 seconds and then go. Give me 10 seconds. Ben, I don't give a fuck if you're playing outside. I don't give a fuck if you're in Guatemala. If you're playing the right way and you're winning games and you're dominating overloads and dominating hardpoints, I don't give a fuck where you're at. It doesn't matter. They're playing good COD. They were there. They were a top 3 respawn team versus all the 11 teams in the league. Gave Optic their only loss. They were good. I don't give a shit.
They were playing the opposite of that way on LAN, and COD is littered. Plenty of examples of teams that when the bright lights are on, they play completely differently from the way that they're playing in the online matches. Okay. And it just sucks.
Yeah, that's fine.
You would think that should be the case. And a lot of great players, who both of you all have team with, didn't have this problem. You put them online, you put them on LAN, they played the same way. If their teammates weren't doing that, they whipped them into shape, and they got it going. The problem with Falcons,
3 world champions.
I know, but I'm aware, and that's what's frustrating about the situation. If 3 world champions, but the fit was always awkward, which we talked about in the beginning of the year, and they were making it work online, but all of a sudden,
I
then the fit looked awkward at fucking LAN, and
so much. I can't stand this.
No,
take.
Because you're getting online league match fucking cheese.
No,
bro.
Ben, I can't stand this take, because you're saying that, like, okay, you're saying, yeah, when they get to LAN, they just lose their mind, and that's true, but they have 3 world champions, and they were playing good online. They were playing the right way. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's team morale. It's these guys get to LAN. But
here is the key. Here's the key issue, and is they were good at respawn online. They were terrible at S&D online, and they were not good at respawn in LAN, and terrible at S&D on LAN. And like, it's just not. They were not playing sustainable COD online. And that's fine. You can 3-1 blitz people and win 3 respawns online, but you get to LAN S&D win shit.
They were not playing sustainable COD online. They were playing, like Ann said, they were playing COD. They were playing good. The arrows were good
COD, they were the worst S&D team in stage 2.
That's what we're talking about. Respawn
winning series 3-1 because they're winning 3 respawns.
They were not great at respawn to start here. They were high and low. They found a way to get consistent at it. They got there. S&D was the next mode, like next progression up. If they obviously, like if they, to me, if they had not like saying this, but if they had not wasted time in this whole like the between the splits about trying a player in a situation where we can talk about trials after, because I want to have a discussion about that, but just for the sake of the conversation, they had like a 3-week period where they could have focused their improvements on S&D with their practice.
That's what I'm saying.
And the new meta change was like a perfect timing to reset a little bit and have new maps that you can focus on and get ahead in the meta, to where now you can get in a place where you might be ahead on 3 new S&D maps compared to the rest of the teams.
That's what they
because you
found.
have extra practice in there.
This is my
so just to kind of I get what you're saying, Ben, and I like, dude, there's no one's gonna disagree that land matters the most. Like, there's no disagreements there. But the reality of the league right now is that you play a majority of your matches online, and they were playing in Major 2, they were playing consistent COD. It wasn't just random shit. They weren't just, like you said, blitzing. Bro. They were playing good fundamental COD and Respawn, and they were winning these maps and modes against all the good teams by good margins. It wasn't just fluky wins. Like, obviously you have your close games, but it was good COD, bro. Like, that's where I struggle with the idea of like pushing changes like that. And I get it. Like, you want results. Like, it's annoying. Like, they're spending a lot of money. I totally understand it, right? Like, and the idea of trying to fix whatever was going on land is not an easy one to fix. I get that. But to throw a potential wrench, throw a big piece of wood in the bike wheels at that stage of the season, where there's literally, like, again, the player they trialed, there's a player that clearly is having good success in challengers, but pro level COD is different COD, and that trial did not work. And you have to understand, to me, like, trialing is all about understanding how certain players in your team are going to be able to receive this kind of stuff. You have to gauge how players are going to take this. Like, I want to say, heat's not the right word, but this kind
pressure.
of like
pressure.
Is it pressure? Like, it's more the idea that it, like, trialing players during a season like this sends messages to the players. Some people are okay to take that message and take it in a constructive way, where they're more seen as like, okay, I really need to improve. I need to focus on myself. I need to do things better. And some just see it as like just a slap in the face. And like, so far, it seems like those players maybe didn't take it in the best way, and the team obviously is struggling right now, which is definitely not helping the vibes or the whole as a team. They haven't looked the same since. So I don't know. It's a tough one to me. Like, I don't really fault them for trialing in the first place. Like, if they saw an opportunity to improve in a way, then like, you can't fault the team for it.
Yeah, but Ray, you gotta know your personnel, bro.
Let me finish. Just like we're talking about the Minnesota change, like, you have stuff to lose when you do these kind of actions. Like, it's never just going to go unnoticed, or it's never sunshine and flowers. There's always something that needs to be that's always something that's going to affect a team in a positive or negative way. And so far, it's been negative for them.
Can we like just rip the Band-Aid here? You started this segment by saying like they can't drop Xnet, right? And that's your read on the situation?
That's my read on it. And I'll just also say, I wanted to say this to you, Ben. I agree that at this point they need to make a change. But where I don't agree with is like saying like all along they needed to do this because this, that, and the third, when that's just not the case. All that happened here, and it's cut and dry, and it is black and white, is they mismanaged the situation, and now their team's fucked. That's my read on the situation.
Let me now read between the fucking tea leaves on this, so we stop beating around the fucking bush. Okay, you're sitting here saying that you're hearing that they can't drop Xnid. So I fucking guarantee, because we've all been around, this is what happened with this fucking team: is they got back-to-back top 8. The players want to make a change. Xnid can't get dropped, and that's the root cause of this fucking issue. That there is a big split in the camp where clearly, for, I assume, in-market MENA reasons, investment reasons, other reasons, they need to have a Saudi player in the team. The players don't want to go in that direction. And now we've just killed all trust because we're basically split into 2 camps. And until they bridge that gap, this is what it's going to be.
This is the problem, Ben. And when I talk about mismanaged, they dangled the carrot. You can never dangle the carrot in front of a team. You can't. It's going to compromise them. They dangled the carrot, and now look at it, bro. This is the result. And that's my whole thing. So whenever we talk about this, we're like, we start on the same page, and then we just get wider and wider because you talk from a perspective as if the team was doomed from the start, when that is not the case. So that's where we I think that's where we butt heads.
No, I actually, because I've strongly felt like this roster formed that I thought their win conditions were pretty narrow. I felt there was an awkward set of pieces.
You can't victory.
And they're kind of banking on Xnet developing, and like I think that they're ability to win an event was much lower than say what FaZe is trying to do or Thieves is trying to do.
Well, yeah, they probably do
And
that
like
too.
it just swung the other way. Like that was my read initially, and like I guess it worked out and I'm right, but like it could have gone the other way. But now they're to your point, a very tough spot. And they gotta bite the bullet and they gotta build the trust back in the squad, or they're just gonna get pummeled by FaZe, Miami, Thieves, Toronto all fucking year, and they're getting top 8 the next couple of events.
No,
maybe
Ray's
top
right.
6.
Ray's right. When you
What's
do
the
things
deal?
like this, there's risk and reward, and they just.
I mean, any change you make, there's risk and reward.
Yeah.
There's always ups and potential downs, and even when there's ups, there's probably downs that comes with it. It's just a fact of the matter of making changes in this league. Just with the timing and the amount of time you have to readjust to those changes, there's just never a guarantee, bro. It's always hard. So. Where it was not the entire community, and I'm maybe not both of you, maybe some of you, I'm talking to you two, was not a majority of the community calling for 04's head during
I never
the early
called for
stage of the
04's
season.
head.
I was sitting here on this podcast saying, bro, if he doesn't play better in Major 2, they need to have a fucking conversation. He
You
stepped
don't remember
two.
me cooking Ben
Respect
for
to
saying
him.
that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
respect to him. He fucking stepped 2 and showed up when they needed him, and they won that event. And now look
Right.
at him on the level.
So with that being said, like again, I think there's the concept of teams, like maybe it's the recency of Optic and the change they made. Everyone thinking like changes are going to guarantee, like changes that are just rainbows ahead for sure. Good stuff. If you pick up the next Mercules, you're going to be victors. You got this. Like, I don't know. It feels like everyone's been blinded by this shit. Like that change was one. It's like winning the lottery in a way where like it's not. It's going to be rare you're going to pick up a player that's going to impact a team like this. And like all kudos to them for doing it. Like this kid's gross. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from what Optic's done and what he's saying, but I'm just more so what he did, sorry, but more so just the aspect of like that is such a rare occurrence where a team just clicks instantly when picking a new player. It's not like one out of like I want to say almost 10 to 20 team changes will come out in a very positive way, and 1 out of 100 will come out that way. And I don't know if it's the entire community, I don't know if it's all the pundits or the teams and the ownerships. Like there's this idea that making a change is a guaranteed victory in a lot of cases. To me is such a bad way to look at things, bro. Like there's so many obvious scenarios that happened in the past that were not in the same way, and people don't bring those up. People talk about those like, oh, it was the player or it was the team. No, bro. Like there's a lot of like good experience from I don't want to say all the organization. Let's just say the good organizations that have made changes and that have learned through good and bad changes. And I've been a part of those myself. Like it's just you learn through these changes, and you understand when the more you do it, the more you understand when is the time to do these things or not. And you learn these things to grasp also by the understanding of how your players will react to those changes.
I agree.
And that's where the difficulty comes in there. And I think for me, like what Ben has said, where I think the big difficulty for Riyadh is like the players, like where it gets difficult is if players want something and the org wants something different. I think that's where the difficulty comes in. Like that's something that I feel like it's hard. Like most of the situations I've been in, I've always, at least where I've been in charge, I've always been to the point where like I want, like the team should want what the players want. Like the players are playing.
You guys have autonomy, basically, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying if it's one guy on a team that wants to change, and that's not. But if the team collectively agrees to something and they're pushing for something, like me as the person in charge above them, I'm not gonna go and say no. Like it's like we all collectively feel like something is hurting us, then let's change it because we've all agreed that this is a position we want to go in. And one thing I've learned from my experience in the past is like always helping the players understand before going to these things that like, hey, like this could help us, but it could also hurt us. We need to understand like before committing to this change that this is not necessarily something that's going to make us instantly better. We all agree that something is wrong right now. We need to make a change to hopefully make us better in the long term. Just understand that this change may not could be better for us in 2 months from now, but instantly may not be better. So there's so many nuances, and more so bringing it up from an experience standpoint that like it's not, changes are never a guarantee, just more so.
So Ray,
being a bush around that,
you are good at developing talent and cultivating like a good environment for team improvement. I would say that there's other professional outfits out there that are good at that. And when a team is struggling, and like now I'm there with the Falcons because I think it was mismanaged earlier. If you feel confident that you can develop and nurture a good environment, then a move is the right thing, because now you look at the reward on the other side of that. Thieves have picked up Nissim and developed him into a very good player. And he's going to know how to play with a lot of different play styles because of what he deals with on that team. Thinking about Koi, Kips, getting developed, playing with really good players. Like cultivating, fill in the bank. It's been a long week. So for Riyadh, that's what they now have to think about going forward, is like, can we actually develop talent while we have these guys here who are vets, who are world champions? Can we cultivate a good environment? We have Clayster as our head coach. We have, and if it's not working with Exnid, then maybe go get another challenger player, and that adds value to your organization. So that's just kind of the way that I look at it. And like, I even think about, because you just drew the parallel to like your teams you've been on, I think about, last year with your squad, you had a lot of young players. They needed to learn a lot. They need to learn how to handle the pressure of finals, right? They need to learn how to deal with the roster change. Like, you guys brought in Neptune, obviously you brought a lot of firepower, but you had to figure out how to fucking play. And so I just feel like timely changes when you have, the right staff and the right players on the team are good to make. And there is a point in season where it's like, okay, the value of this could be immense for us going forward. And that's where Riyadh are at. So
here's where I struggle with what I get where you're pitching. I think the difference in where most of the team changes come from is that you are making a change for a player to another player that is clearly going to like firepower, or that's going to bring something that's for sure going to elevate your team from a playing standpoint. I think we can all agree that like Riyadh has shown capable of playing at the top level, if not being the top team in certain moments. Yeah. Like in a major 2 qualifying, like they were up there, if not. Like, obviously Optic was playing really good COD as well, but they beat Optic, so you have to like take it with a grain of salt. Online match, I get it, blah blah.
They were up there.
But they were like, I mean, in all statistics from a respawn standpoint, they were like top 2. If they would have been more efficient in getting to where it needed to be for S&D, then like the struggle. I mean, who knows what happens online, regardless. But more so showcasing the point that like this team, from a individualistic player standpoint, everyone can say whatever they want about Exnid. This team is still capable of doing things. It is a matter of, at this point, you have to either they're not adapting to the new meta, either there's something going on that isn't, to me, from an outside perspective, again, without knowing what's going on the inside, just putting that with a caveat, because everyone needs to understand that we're making these based on assumptions, that isn't going on internally, that isn't based around just playing the game, because we know that they can just play the game.
So how do you boost team morale, Ray? Like, forget all the speculation. How would you approach you being a top 2 respawn team and now you can't win a hard point? How do you get out of this?
I mean, the practice is where it starts. To me, like, if I was if I was in that camp, it'd be very much just having conversation with players individually and trying to get them to understand the position they're in. Like stop trying to look for other options. Like, the option we have now is a good option. Like, this is, you have to make them believe. You have to find a way to talk to them in a way that they are going to go back to their brains where they were a month ago in Major 2, to where things were rolling. They were flowing in a good state. You help them understand that like where we were there was a good position. We just need to be better at search. And then once we get better at search, then we put a lot less pressure on having to perform in these respawn modes where we're free on land, and then things start coming in together at one. Like, but belief and how you converse to these players from a team standpoint, but also individually, to me, is like so important to this, bro. Like, I'll say that, like, just from experience from last season, like, it looked from an outside perspective, from everyone that probably watched us play, you guys saw us probably like, bro, this team's a team. Like, this is great, bro. We had our issues, and I had to play, I don't want to call it a therapist, but like, you have, like, as a coach, as a staff member on a team, you have to be, it's annoying, but you have to be constantly talking to your players and making sure they're in the right headspace. Because it's, with social media these days, bro, it's so fucking easy to fall out of a loop, to fall into what the community believes and what the outside believes. Like, you need to have your own like mental state within the team, and then understand that whatever outside is just noise. It's not easy to do that. There's a lot of guys that like watching the shows we're doing now, for example, or the flank or the breaking point, or whatever it is, like shows where it's more often than not is more negative than positive towards the situations of teams, just like we're talking about the Falcons right now. So you need to find a way to kind of like separate the two and help them understand that, like, dude, like, especially with Falcons, it's not like, bro, it's not like this team's been ass all year, bro. We have to understand this team is a good team. Like, I get what people are saying. People always point fingers and shit, bro. Like, you have being inside the camp there, you have to really help them believe and talk to them in a way where, like, you need to get them reeling back in a place where they understand where they're at. And where they're at right now looks bad, but is really not that far off.
All right, so let's move over to Ben. And Ben, why don't you put a cap on it? You've heard everything me and Ray just kind of discussed. Is there anything else you want to say about Riyadh?
I just think I like Ray's approach, and it's a good glass half full approach, but I just don't think we're going to agree to that. Like, they're playing good respawn ball, especially last stage in that round robin and respawn. I just think the S&D has been a problem all year.
There's no one ever.
And I think the key issue with their team, Ray, and we're not going to agree, is that I think the biggest issue is their team plays completely differently when they go to LAN, and it's probably caused an inquest on their side. It caused a schism in how they want to approach potentially rotating the roster. They pump faked it, and now they're like stuck because it's like, I don't know if you keep running the squad out that the belief is there, and all the change options are not going to be great. And they've positionally screwed themselves either way they slice it. So, and they don't have a world's easiest split coming up here. The matches that they have coming up are Vancouver, Miami, and C9. So C9's winnable. Vancouver playing good ball right now. Miami playing good ball. They beat the hell out of
Vancouver, so they won 2 of those.
Yeah, they did have a good win against Vancouver last weekend, so I'll give them that, as you see on the screen. But I think in the rematch, I think Vancouver may potentially give them some problems, but Falcons are 0-2 right now. So
hey, maybe they'll go into the major, Ben, with no expectation and surprise some of us. But
they got to get minimum top 6. They got to get something better placing wise than what they have. Another top 8 is, I'm sorry, is like we cannot tip a team that places top 8 3 back-to-back tournaments.
The last thing I'll say, because everybody seemingly is on Pred and Exit, Celium blows at S&D. And the positions they have 100%. Him playing are also terrible. The guy just, like, I was watching Fringe, he's just like sitting in top red the whole game. Like, bro, get him like pushed up looking over somebody. Like, Celium, the one time I saw Celium pull the NPC out on the plaza, he got like a 3-piece. Like, bro, he needs to be way more involved in search and destroy. And yeah, like, put him on the same side of the map as kids and just let them go to work or something. Because bro, he's been a bot in S&D since literally the start of stage 2. Like a literal bot, maybe the worst search player in our league.
I just feel like S&D is such a team centric mode though. Like, again, like you said, if the players are like the same thing with Abe sort of start here, like if you don't conduce strategies in a place where everyone's kind of involved in what's going on and we're not actively trying to play together, then that players are gonna look bad like that. It's gonna happen. Like, it's just,
well, they're putting him in horrible spots, bro. He's sitting like top red by himself with nobody working shit elsewhere. Like, they'll be like, they just play that style of the game, bro, where like either Pred or Kiz are making a play and Celium's like waiting, and then all of a sudden they die, and then Celium's like in a terrible spot. Like, they need to put him in.
You guys not remember the interview?
Their S&D team ball is bad, and MC has not been a good anchor
at
like Island player when required. And it's like the combination of both, with the fact that they're one of the worst first blood percentage teams in the league outside of a map like Plaza. Like, this is how you get this. And yes, MC needs to play better individually, but I also agree better with Ant. Like, their team strategy, S&D, is just so
horrific
behind what we see from the other squads. Like, it's not even on the same fucking planet at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. You remember the Pred interview where, was it Pred? I think it was Pred or Kiz. They were like talking about how they're trying to adapt, or maybe it was Cell. They were trying to, like, it was towards the end of Major 2. They were saying how we're trying to change our approach and how we go about search. And like, that was a positive thing to hear. Like, they were, and clearly in how they played that match specifically, they had seemingly changed their mindset a little bit. And I think that's one thing, especially the new maps. I feel like that's where you kind of take in that mentality even more and find a way to kind of grasp where we can all be involved in what's going on in plays. I think like you guys talk about island shit, I think the island role is such a foreign, like ancient way of going about things in most S&D games now, just because the sheer aspect of having numbers and situations is what matters. If you play island, there's 2 guys pushing you can't do shit about it anymore. Like, you used to be able to make a play and maneuver. Now you're just fucking dead. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I get what you guys are saying about that, but I think there's holistically, there's some just strategic mentalities there that need to just change to not be in those situations to start with, and then they'll be better for it, in my opinion. But
it's also
if I'm sending you, and I'm sending you a clip, can you do I send it to your main account or your
Discord? Send it to my backup. Yeah. When I watch their search, it's just
so this is to me the kind of stuff that will, I don't know, like this is just plain like not what they were doing before. And we talked about, there's been a lot of like discussions about like what Genomates was. Like pause it
okay.
before we get into it. Pause right here. Pause it. Yeah, pause right here. You're good. Or actually just play it to where like Falcons get the hill whenever the push is over.
Oh, I know what situation.
Just because your stream's delayed, so I can't.
I'm
can't
streaming on Discord for you.
Are you?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
This is where they don't push up, like right? They just kind of hold.
This is even worse than that.
Let me know when you're good.
You're not sharing the right screen in Discord.
I'm not.
Well, how much time is left in the hill when this happens, Ray?
I'll tell you. Yeah.
All right.
You're sharing everything.
They'll help it out.
Yeah. Okay. So situation, right? We just clear out the hill. Our last guy alive is in hill. We are on a P2 where Optic is most likely spawning front, but could be spawning mid. But what is the most important thing to watch in this situation? If you're Falcons,
front hill.
Front of hill is always the most quickest route to the hill is always the main thing to watch. Tell me where the green arrows go. Press play and tell me where the green arrows go.
Let's see those. Oh yeah, who is that? 3 and 1. Sounds good. Let's go top broken window. MC. What the fuck?
And like lobby, bro. And then it was
like when I saw this, like I was more frustrated than anything else. Like this is just not who we saw in made. Like this is complicating the game for no reason, bro. Like you play positionally. You have like, dude, they have a chance to blow the game out of the water here. They have P2 control. We just got a wave. Phases push is going to be staggered if we win another wave. Like this is basically like 70-2 or 5 or some shit. Like unless phase push to scrap. But it's a chance to basically win the game here almost. Like,
yeah, you're gonna go up 80 something points. You get a clean wipe, dude.
It's just like this is just complicating things in a way where in Major 2, like they were playing so simple, at least from my perspective and what I was watching. Like this is just not fundies whatsoever. And they get broke here for it. And I there's small instances that we can, like, I'm sure there's a lot of things they did well. Like obviously we're going to pinpoint some of the bad things, but this to me is just like, I don't know, like they aren't thinking about the game in the same way. There's something's going on that change some thought processes that need to be, again, this is where, coming back to the conversation we had earlier about the team in general, like you just need to get everyone back on the same page about where we were a month ago. Obviously a lot easier said than done.
Question,
because things have gone so bad. But
for chat and for you and for everybody in here, for Dill, for anybody, is there ever a moment ever on P2 Den where you want your AR to spawn up when you have P2 and to run into top broken window? Is there ever a moment where you want that to happen? Ever?
If you have front pushed out, sure.
I think I'd rather a sub go in there so he can hit a reflank or something at least. Because if the push that mid, is there ever a situation where you want, like realistically, how often is that going to happen? Where you have front push out and then all the way back to where you know there's nobody even at the bottom broken door? Like ever. And if Falcons were pushed out front here, we'd be spawning behind hill anyways. We wouldn't be spawning where we spawn. And even if, yeah, exactly. Like there's never a moment where I would want, like, this is an awful play.
But like to me, like the not the rule, but like the mentality what you're trying to accomplish is you're always trying to get a player pushed out front. So if you don't have front control, that should be priority, is getting front control, because you're preventing the quickest route to the hill. So like obviously Falcons don't have front here. We just want to wave. We basically want the trade off of fighting to front time. So the goal should be to just flood time again and make sure we brute force our way through front. And then if they go mid, then we can just watch mid from the hill. And if they want to go around the back, then we just play from the hill. Like
you should never go window there.
That is thought process. But
we got a lot of teams to talk about, but I mean, this is just a lack of funding and trust. And I just want to show. I'm not as optimistic they're going to figure
out.
Great
clip, Ray, because they have. I mean, even on land when we watched, you were in that call. They just have these like head scratchers where you're like, what the hell were you even thinking? Like to that.
I mean, that was one of them. Like it's just And that's where it frustrates me, because it's like that simple play, if it's done in the way they know they can do it, then they're up 80 to whatever. I mean, like obviously,
like they're playing
take that with a
good.
grain of salt, but they're up by a lot if they win that situation off. So it's just that's why when people talking about teams being, oh my god, these guys are awful, like, bro, these guys had a chance to, I don't want to say have the map won. It would have, like, FaZe can still come back, but it would have been a lot more difficult for FaZe to have won.
Well, to me, that's what makes them awful now, is those types of decisions, and the frequency in which they pop up since LAN, because there were like 4 or 5 of those that we just from like our general watch through that we saw, and we were like, what the fuck is that? And now it's still happening. So anyways, though, let's move on, guys. We kind of, I don't want to beat the dead horse here. So Gentlemates, they lost 1-3 to Miami. Panic time or no? Let's start with you, Ben.
Talking about FaZe?
Gentlemates.
Sorry. I'm not panic. I think Gentlemates look better this weekend. Miami obviously made a run to the finals, so it's like you lost in a single-up format to a team. But I think the concern for Gentlemates is like they're no longer in the top 2 conversation. They are maybe in the top 4 conversation, but could land in top 6, and that's not good enough for those guys. They got to get more consistent results over the next few weeks and generate some momentum, because they have a soft enough-ish schedule that they have a chance that if they play this out the right way between Boston. They're already 2-0. They got Boston. They could be 3-0, and they just got to win one between Optic and Miami. They could be 4-1 and get a top 4 seed and like get a pretty good group draw. They have things to work on. They're overloading their S&D. To me, it's still not that convincing. But this meta should suit their team. Dante should be good as a third sub theoretically on this. Dan Goshi's even played great on maps like Sake Hardpoint. Once they figure out the other 2 modes, it can be good. But a lot of teams have caught up now. Are they going to be able to kind of push their way through the pack? I think that's going to be the big question that we're going to find an answer to next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, my only thing with them is they got to fix their S&D. I feel like they're, kind of like Riyadh last split, but like not as strong a respawn. And my second thing is, it's easy this, because I still think they're a good team, and I think they have good concepts, but Sib's just got to play better. Like the star power on the team, it was Sib and Neptune. I mean, you guys, when we talk about the top teams, the star power, those players are playing well. Sib's not playing well. So I think he will. But they got to get back to that, and they got to do things that enable him as well. I know that he's been pretty vocal about the current meta, like not loving it. He's got to find a way to fall in love with the game. He just does, bro. And
pull out a sub and run around, buddy.
Yep, that's exactly right. Point blank. Period. So until that happens, they're just not gonna be back to that form. But it's, to me, and I don't like putting all the pressure on one guy, but to me, that is like the biggest thing that's separating them from where they were is just Sib, his performance. I looked at some of his numbers in S&D as well.
Honest.
He was like top 5 in opening duels. That's fallen off. He's not getting any opening duel fight wins with the sniper anymore. So yeah, they gotta adapt. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Dante has been average to below average in that sniper AR role as far as players in S&D in this game, and he's got to step up. He was really good at it early. Yeah. He hard fell off in stage 2. He didn't play good at it at the stage 2 event, and in the major qualifiers, he didn't play that good in S&D, if I remember, against Carolina, Minnesota, and he got whomped in this Miami series. So like, he's got to be better in S&D, or they're going fucking nowhere. Top 6 maybe. This is where they're landing.
I mean, I actually agree with you 100%. Like, I have no objection to that at all, and I think it's in there. What's your evaluation on Paris, Ray? Like, what do you think about this team right now, where they're at?
My take is extremely boring, because I'm going to say the same thing that we said with Riyadh, where this is a team that clearly is lacking in S&D and needs to be figuring out how to push ahead in new maps. I think this is where it is. Any team who's struggling in a mode when there's a map change going on, like, these teams should be pouncing on that. Like, it should be like number 1 priority is how can we find a way to focus on that, so that we not saying guarantee, but give ourselves the best chance to win our pick in that mode in a match, so that we don't lose matches because of this mode.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is just like, you just got to put the time in. Like, you got to scrim. Like, if I was in their shoes, it'd be, obviously we play our first set respawn, best led second set, and I'm looking for S&D reps, even if it's against AMP teams afterwise on the new maps, just to make sure I'm getting into as many scenarios and situations as possible to where I'm learning from these things, so that when I go into matches, I'm more advanced than other teams. You just find a way to get ahead. That's all it is. Like, it sounds really simple. It's not. But I think number one is it's just really putting the time in, and then like spending time talking about these instances after you play them, so that you find a way to get ahead. And really that surrounds around effort. Like, you just need to put in the time to get around, to get to where you want to be as fast as possible. And it's, listen, I don't, this is such a pundit take, and I fucking hate these. But I've been on teams before that have won a tournament early in the season, and it's not necessarily taking your foot off the gas, but it's like you don't really try and push from a player's standpoint to keep going ahead. Like, to me, where I struggle the most from an outside perspective is these guys were far ahead in hardpoint. Like, Optic wasn't trailing by that much, but like, these guys were, for the majority of the start of the season, probably up until Major 1, and Optic, I think, was really catching up. They were just so far ahead in how they were going about playing hardpoint. And obviously, when the quicker you push the bar further away from teams, the quicker other teams will catch up to that bar, because they understand there's so much they need to learn to get back to you. It's not like a subtle bar where teams are like trailing. It's like you created this gap that other teams now, oh, what the hell? These guys are doing this, and that. We didn't think about these things. But it feels like they haven't really, like, it's not easy to keep pushing the bar, but it doesn't feel like these teams have found a way. This team has found a way to stay ahead of other teams in that sense. And it's again a lot easier to say to do than actually do. But if that's the case, if let's say they found their, I don't want to say they plateaued in hardpoint, but if they found their place of comfort in that mode where they feel comfortable winning games, and it's still working in scrims and even matches, I feel like, I mean, it's not like what's their record this stage so far?
They're
Like,
2-0 right now.
Yeah,
They're still pretty good in hardpoint. No, they started winning their map ones again. Their hardpoint got better.
Yeah.
And I generally
so
agree
it's not
with
even.
you, so.
It's not even like, that's again kind of the same discussion we had with Falcons in Major 2. Like, it's clearly not, hardpoint's clearly not the problem. So again, my emphasis, if I was in a coaching way with these teams that are struggling in the mode, is just, you have to find a way to get everyone involved into working as hard as possible to get out of that rut. And the new maps is always the easiest way out of these things. Unless the new maps kicked out some of your better maps before, then it's not as easy, right? But yeah. It's just a sense of you need to find a way to get ahead on those new maps, and every team's probably looking to do the same, which is why it's obviously a lot easier said than done. But if you can out effort other teams in that sense and put the time in that these other teams maybe aren't putting as much of, then you give yourself a chance to be ahead.
Bro, their Scar they're playing it like it's preseason, like the way they play Scar. Yo, Dante, get a pick. If you can't find a pick, go mid map and try to get a pick. And he puts himself in a horrible spot, and everybody knows where to look. Dante's either going to be motel steps, top blue, or laying down in a corner mid. Those are 3 spots he's going to be. Once we kill his ass, shit is free. Envoy's going to try to run through bottom towards bomb and try to get a pick inside deli. Like, they just get bullied on that map.
What's the record in Scar recently?
I mean, it's 2-6. It's terrible. It's so bad.
That's season, right? That's season. Can you like?
No, this is the last 60 days.
Oh, it's the last 10. Holy shit. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
And the problem is they were hard fill up on raid too.
Ray,
they're super predictable in raid as well.
Ray, what are we doing? If me and you are playing Paris on Scar, what are we doing? We're gonna take mid-map away from them, hide, and just wait for the round to develop a little bit. And either Envoy's giving us a kill, Ghosty's gonna be sitting back red step somewhere waiting for shit to happen, and then we're just gonna kill Dante. Like, it's so. How many rounds do we see teams go take plane from them, flank, get a pick, and get away with their life and run back plane?
Trust me, I understand, and I agree. I think it's the sense of if I'm in a position with a team like that and I want to keep playing that map, you need to find a way to utilize what people think what you're going to do against them, and change your approach drastically, and like basically counter their thought process. Which, I mean, based on the results, maybe I feel like they've tried in some instances, in some rounds. It seems like they're trying to bring a different shift. And Scar, again, is a map where there's only so much you can do, bro. It's like, it's such a.
That's true.
I just can't believe we're still playing that map, to be honest. But if you're gonna play, you need to find a way to like assess what's working and trying to to obviously use that, but then really make sure you're not just playing the ISO shit. Just doesn't work, bro. It's such a fucking coin flip way to play the game at times. And if Dante's gonna fucking get the insane picks he's been getting, then so be it. Maybe he's doing it in scrims. They're like, okay, well, it's just a matter of like accomplishing it in matches. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, recency would say it's not working. So obviously you need to find something there.
Bro, they're getting
to try and change.
Listen, what they need to do.
Close.
Their problem is they're gonna have to play their Scar Array, which they suck at. So they got to get better one.
Why do they have to play it?
Because any smart team is playing them on one of those in a series. You can't fucking.
What was the other one you said? What was the other one?
Scar Raid is one of them's ending up in a series.
Raid's way. I mean, Raid to me, if I'm a team that's struggling at search, I mean, granted, Scar's pretty straightforward, but Raid you can get away with so much like banging.
Well, they're getting 6-0, 6-2 on Raid. They're getting this shit banged out on Raid bad.
Yeah, they've been really bad at Raid now for like 2 months.
Yeah, like
so here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Let me finish thought. They got to get good at one of those maps, at least one. Their fringe they play was so weird against Miami because they got 1 million first bloods and didn't win any of those rounds.
Yeah,
which that shouldn't happen again. And then I want to see what Plaza with their team. Sure, maybe they give it a go at some point. To play Gridlock with their team, they should theoretically be good at. So like they get good on 1 or 2 of the new maps, like they're fine. They just got to take the opportunity in front of them and like get good at the new maps, pick one a Raider score, and like they have a chance at this event. If it's
stop
the same,
saying Raid. Raid is chalk. They're 12-29 round
so then,
count on Raid.
Then they gotta switch up on Scar and figure out how to play it straight up, and not to your point, like just scam in the middle of the fucking round, like on the square ups that people do in fucking middleweight for them to scam.
Bro, 29% round win on a map is a diabolic, brother. Like.
Because what happens when you watch the Raid is every other team death balls in the fucking map, but the way Gentlemates play is they fucking spread and they get ISO'd. Dill gets ISO'd, Dante gets ISO'd, and the rounds are fucking free. Because anytime you're in a retake situation on defense and its numbers is fucking wraps.
The problem is they've always embraced that playstyle. They've liked the ISO ball playstyle. Like that's how they got through like stage 1 S&D. Like it was good.
Yeah, but
it works early on in the game.
Yeah,
it works early on in the game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's what they committed to, and now it's not.
But you adapt. You adapt.
Why was Atlanta FaZe good at S&D for so long during the middle of the CDL?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that.
There's two major. There are a lot of reasons, but the 2 major reasons were they were great at mid-round decisions because they could play both ways. They could play spread and play for picks and react off of info, shout the fucking slasher, or they could go death ball on the fucking map and force fucking work trades and teamwork. They had a lot of different works. They didn't always play one style of search, and they adapted as needed to what the game or the meta dictated so that they can actually outplay fucking teams. And Gentlemates, I think, is to your point, is like they're just very stale and predictable in one note in search, and it's not going to work.
All right, so we got like 40 minutes left, so let's bang through the next topic real quick. Just to put a button on the Paris thing, I think we're all in unanimous agreement. Search and destroy, primary focus for them, without question. They won't win until they fix this. It's dead last across the board in the last 60 days and basically everything. Other than they're not allowing bomb plants because teams are beating them so fast before they even have to plant the bomb on offense. So
their overloads look good, right? Recently, hasn't it looked better? I feel like
it's been better
from an eye test
it's been a little better.
Yeah, they got to a spot where they're playing all the exposures, and now they're looking better there. So like the respawn's fine. Like it's good enough. Fair. Right. So as long as you can
win championships, though. Yeah. S&D, and especially the one championship they got, how they win it.
Yep.
In Game 7, fucking S&D.
All right. So the next team we need to talk about is Toronto. So quickly, let's get through this one within 5-10 minutes. I believe Toronto is still an elite team. I'll say elite team. I just think they have a huge matchup diff against Optic. These things happen. I've been on teams that had matchup diffs, vice versa. And I wanted to kick it over to you guys and tell me kind of what you think about that and why that is. And let's start with you, Ben. Where are you at?
Go to Ray first.
Okay, let's start with you, Ray. Where are you at with Toronto? And what are your thoughts? Is it just a matchup thing with Texas, and do you still think they're an elite team?
Insight needs to be more involved. What's going on? There's no way around it. Like I don't feel like a change is needed. I just think he needs to understand that if you're gonna play the best teams, you need to be involved with what's going on. You can't play with the idea of not playing the positions you're given at certain times to where if I'm the player in front, I need to go in front and be active. I can't let people run by me. Like it works to a certain extent. It's just from a consistency standpoint, when you play against the teams that are going to take advantage of the space they have quickly, then you are going to lag behind and you're going to lose times by doing that. And recently he's been consistently like even the damage numbers have been just completely behind the rest of the squad, which again, I'm not saying these things in a way that it can't work, that it will never work. Like they could theoretically win a tournament by doing that if everyone else is just having lights out performances, and for whatever reason, just the COD gods put him in situations on the map that don't require him to go forward. But it's not even, I don't care about the statistics around it. It's just you look at how they're playing, and he just majority of the time he's just playing a passive position.
He is. Where
in certain situations where he can be playing an aggressive position and take more space. And I refuse to believe that Insight doesn't have the talent or the skill set to do these things. I don't believe it. I've competed. I've never played with Jamie or had Jamie on my teams from a coaching standpoint, but I've been competing against him for years. This guy is good. This guy knows his game. He's smart. He's intellectual about what he's doing. He's a great teammate. He has all the qualities to help a team succeed like they have been for a long time. You need to adapt to what the game is giving you. That is okay. That is to me the.
Let's say this. Sorry. I'm Insight. Let me say this. I'm Insight, right? When I start to play faster, that's when I get put in the blender. And that's kind of what it's been though. Like he starts.
And then he's got to drop himself. Bro, can I list some stats?
He's got to drop
list some fucking stats.
Is fucking
no, serious questions. I'm about to list some fucking stats. These are insane numbers. Okay. Jamie Insight this season in a hard point, bottom 5% in the league in kills per 10, bottom 12% in the league in damage per 10, and bottom 3% in engagement per 10 in a hard point. In S&D, he is bottom 10% in kills per round. He does a good job of not dying in S&D, but engagements, he's in the bottom 2%, and he's in the bottom 20% in damage. And then in overload, bottom 12% in kills, bottom 9% in damage, bottom 5% in engagements. Crazy high, but that's not sustainable. To Ray's point, the problem is that he has to be more active, and if you're not getting kills, at least doing fucking damage and holding lanes more aggressively and trying to get into play, allow Joe and Kips to make fucking plays. He's too passive, bro. Bro, let me finish my thought. Their team is good enough to have a high floor now. With adding Kips and the way Joe's playing, and Toby's played much better recently, they have a good floor now. Like, they're not getting shit on. I feel confident about them going to events and getting sixth, and to the point of the last event, like getting a third. They're not going to make a final playing this way. It's just not going to happen. They're going to play a FaZe or a Thieves or an Optic, and this is going to be a big issue, and they're not going to be able to overcome this season. So if they want to get third or fourth all season, great, but they ain't making a fucking final with the way that Jamie plays.
I think I disagree, man. I know nobody's gonna agree with me. No one, and that's fine.
Spit it out. Okay, get on business.
Listen, there are moments where he can speed up, right? But like completely overhauling his gameplay, I don't know.
Who said completely overhauling his gameplay?
Well, that's what I'm seeing everybody say. Like, this guy's just never gonna play fast.
Don't talk about the outside. What did we just say? React to what we're saying. Okay. We're not reacting to the community.
All right, Ben just said he should drop himself, which I think is egregious.
Well, that's Ben. Ben likes going there.
So, all right, let me start like this, because I broke this down. Like, I think it was last episode. There are a lot of positions where they'll get into a good spot, and Insight is just like, let's just use like Saki P2 for example, and let's just say he's on like the well and he's holding that and they get a wipe, and it's like, yes, ideally you want him to push forward there, but let's say Kips and Joe, they just play hyper aggressive. Ben just said it, all three of them are extremely high in all those numbers that are like fast paced. He just knows like shit's gonna get chaotic sometimes if he pushes out, and that's when they were losing respawns. And I think that it's fine. Maybe he could play a little bit more aggressive in some spots, like pick and choose, but like overhauling and playing like wildly aggressive all the time is when he gets put in the cycle, and they get slammed way worse when he does that. It's just from what I've noticed. So
they have an unfixable situation that can't be addressed at a roster change.
But the last part of this that I'll say is I do think you can win with it. Like I just do. When they're playing well and Insight is finding skills and holding, like they can win, and it's not the worst thing in the world. Everybody just chill out a little bit. All the people on Insight's Johnson, just chill out. It's not the worst thing in the world if you just need your star players to be star players on Sunday. It's not. That's how. That's
Do you
how.
remember the last time they won? This Toronto team. Remember the last time they won? You remember what event it was?
It's been a while. Which one was it?
It was when Ernie was on the team. They were unbelievable at Skid Row, and Jamie was like literally starting up every fucking map, 8-1 or 12-1, getting in the mix on fucking P2 Skid Row and getting all the kills, staying alive, putting damage down, guys fucking flooding tunnel.
COD is so hard to win. You can't just use. Remember the last time they won?
I know,
like, dude,
no,
it's
you're holding
so
on to
hard
the
to win.
stages that's telling that they should just fucking move on.
I'm not
bro.
holding on to anything. I'm looking at their performance at the last major. I'm watching the team play versus everybody that's not named Optic Texas, and I think that they're a good team. I'm watching the games.
You're in fucking denial, bro.
I
That's
see.
fine.
They have their play style. Everybody plays fast as fuck.
I
Ben, have you
you're-
ever ran a fucking AR with 3 maniacs on your team? Have you ever done it? No, you haven't. You don't know what the fuck it feels like. It's difficult.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to be the constant
this is you
to
versus
the
the world.
insanity.
Nobody.
Okay, let me say. Let
Bro,
me
you
let me
guys
take
are
the floor.
dude,
Let me take the
not
floor.
you guys. People talk
go
not
ahead,
based
go
in
ahead,
reality. He's
go
playing with 3 hyper
Let me
aggressive
take the floor.
maniacs.
All I'm asking for is in this situation you just described on P2 Sake. Let's say it's a P2. We just won the rotation, and then inside is the furthest player in line, and a player like Hips or Jodeci spawns behind him and passes him in that line, which then affects all the timings moving forward and affects the situation negatively, where the flow of the team is bad. Those are the instances where I'm asking him to be more involved and get involved, because a debt in those instances isn't a bad play. Like, a debt is info. Your player behind you should be able to trade it forward, and then you keep the other team staggered and you keep moving forward on that. Those are the instances to me where he needs to realize that he's hurting his team by standing still and not moving forward. Player in COD these days should never be passed up by a teammate in instances where they have positive positions on the map, ever. Like, that is my struggle with the situation.
I would agree.
And by the way, to disprove,
I'm not done.
Finish your point.
Hey,
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying to Ant. To you, Ben, to say these guys can't win whatsoever. These guys were literally 2 small plays away from beating FaZe in losers finals at the last major. You can argue that they threw away to Den. They
were going to get whomped in finals against Optic.
Who cares? They were just
zero chance to win that event.
They were about to beat the team that won the event. Yes, you could argue whatever you want about, you want to predict and be a clairvoyant and rub your little magic ball what happened later. Sure, go for it. But the fact of the matter is that the way they're playing now isn't far off. That's more so where I'm going with this.
Also,
is that
it's not every life, right? It's not like every life he's standing there and people are. I'm cutting people because, like, I love this topic, bro. People talk like it's like every life insight's like, oh, they're in a great spot and somebody's just zooming past them. No, sometimes he's pushing and he's getting his shit ripped. Like, it happens.
Bro, every team that has every good team this season, their main AR. Okay, I just looked at the numbers. Okay, and I get you. There's the difference in how situations actually play. But I just went through all the stats on Gentlemate, FaZe, Optic, and as well, I looked at Toronto just for comparison. And the other 3 players outside the main AR on FaZe, Optic, and Gentlemate, so Dan Ghosty, Abuza, and Brandon, the other 3 players, or 2 of the players are at least in the top 25% engagements in all modes, and the other player, who's usually the flex player, is in either the 60% percentile or the 55% percentile. And the main AR is a little bit below average, but not at 5 or bottom 10%.
I'm just gonna say this.
That deficit is
what you're
insane,
saying,
bro.
These guys are top 2 in hardpoint, 17-8 in the last 60 days. Whatever Insight's doing, yes, you can get marginally better, maybe speed it up on some hills and some concepts. It is not that dire of a situation, bro. It's just not. He's got 3 maniacs on his team playing fast.
Which I agree with you, but they're not winning an event with Jamie, bro. Like, they are good. They have a yes, I can. They have a great floor, but they are just the same issue as last year. I think they're just gonna get 3rd or 4th every event, and it is what it is. Wow.
Sounds like a great year to me. And then your stars show up on a Sunday and you guys will win an event.
Just get bronze and silver medals, sure.
Okay, what's the alternative? Who are you going to pick up? Are you going to drop Jamie? Who are you going to go grab? And does the team immediately get better? We just talked about risk versus reward.
This is the same problem that Falcons.
If they drop
I know, we just had this conversation earlier too, because they shouldn't have brought Jamie back to begin the season. They should have gone a different direction and finally bit the fucking bullet.
So you think everybody if they dropped Jamie for Kips and they had Real, they'd be better? You think that?
They could have. There was any number of ARs they could have picked up in the fucking offseason instead of bringing Jamie back. We talked about this in the offseason and decided to keep Toby and Jamie back for the 98th fucking season, hoping that would work this time. And it just hasn't. And they're not bad. They're going to be a factor all year, but they're not making a final. And this hopefully is the offseason where they decide to finally split and go different directions.
Am I faded? Y'all think Nasty plays at some mock pace? Bro, his team is getting drove into the core of the earth. What type of propaganda is this? Bro, listen, I'm with you guys. I do think there's times where Insight needs to play better, but when you put the stuff on tape, when you're winning games, when your differential is plus on every single hardpoint map in the game, that is an awesome place to build from. And if you need to get him to marginally speed up on some concepts and some hills, then so be it. Work on that. So I just think they're in a good spot. And I really just want to talk about this from the perspective of, is it a matchup diff against Optic? Not do they need to overhaul a player's playstyle or drop a player? But yeah,
I think Ben's on that side. I'm more just the idea of there's certain, like, he just needs to realize certain instances where he's hurting his team by being so slow. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like it's really not. To me, that's the thing I'm looking at it where maybe I'm just looking at this from a coach perspective, but I just don't feel like it's overhauling his gameplay isn't what we're going after here. It's just helping him like realize there's a like play to a system where if you're in X position and your team gets X kills, then there's X position forward to take space. Just go take that space like your teammates would. Simple as that.
fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I think about like the inverse of it. Some like SMG players where they be playing too fast. It's like, oh, bro needs to slow down. It's like, bro, you gotta find that happy medium sometimes, and hopefully
it's a team. To me, it's all. You have a process of going through things as a team based on the situations that go on the map, and you practice these things every day. So the goal is to a place where we're consistent how we do things. It doesn't matter who. Like, to me, the way I see COD played, and again, you guys can talk to however you want to see certain teams play, but to me, you have a way of going about things that allows everyone in any position to do certain things that will conduce to us having the best chance to hold a position or break a position or whatever it is. There's a mentality around every instance we go through a map. And if one player doesn't follow suit in that, then it'll hurt the line itself. And then everything from a flow standpoint is hard. So then whoever's behind the line that's catching up has to make up for it, which requires you to get insane kills, which again, against best teams in the league, it's not easy.
Holding.
Yeah, bro, can we please move on? Like, we're just I want to talk about the teams that made the finals.
You use numbers,
you're not going to convince you, bro.
We said 10 minutes. So move on.
All right, my last Ben. When you use numbers, all right, it's to reinforce your point. When I pull up numbers, you just ignore it and say, "Can we move on?" What needs to change right here, though?
Bro, you're not gonna be able to do it. I want to see these numbers when you look at the top teams when they play and how much it flips in the other way. And also, there's more modes other than fucking hardpoint as well.
What do you mean? Is their overload not insane? It's insane.
The overload's been good this year, but like again, when they play other top teams, it's a little bit more 50-50, and their S&D has been a little bit tougher.
Oh, so when the top four teams play each other, it's 50-50, bro. I fucking hate this shit. I hate. Bro, of course it is.
Do you? Okay, you want to put money on this? We putting money down if Toronto's making a final. You down to do it?
I mean, that's like I'm not putting money. I can't do that. It's against.
Okay, then okay. Move on then.
But I wouldn't put money on anybody to guarantee to make a final other than FaZe and Optic, because those two teams could honestly be in every final this year.
All right, let's just move on, bro.
But that being said, like to the point of Toronto, like they've been good the last 60 days, point blank period, and it's a great thing to build upon.
Yeah, they're good enough to get third or fourth, which is, we agree, their floor's high. So let's move on.
All right, yeah, let's move on. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, Sunday felt like LA Thieves and Heretics were desperate for wins, like a legitimate tournament atmosphere. Yeah. First time, it was, in my opinion, the first time both these teams played really, really high level COD, and it was beautiful to watch. Talk to me. I mean, obviously you watched the whole thing, Ben, watch party it. What were your thoughts on just like, I guess the atmosphere of the matches on Sunday in those two teams?
I think starting with Thieves, I think this meta and new maps couldn't come at a better time for them. The fresh start that they were afforded after such a really mediocre first two stages, getting a meta that suits them really helps. They got great contributions this weekend from Hydra and Abizi, but at the end of the day, fucking Ernesto with the AR was the difference maker in this series. And like, this is what you wanted to see from Thieves. Everybody step up. Like, they looked great in S&D all weekend, which is really key for me because their S&D had been like so bang on average coming into the split. And it's all clicking. And now I feel really good about this Thieves team going forward. Like the way they play, the way they're playing on new maps, they look really difficult to beat on Fringe S&D. Like they have a really good now map set, and they played pretty good on Gridlock S&D. Like they have a pretty nice map set now going into that event. And I'm not going to be surprised if they make it to the major, the final major 3. And then for Miami, like this was a big finals period. They needed one finals appearance to build on because they've gotten so close to getting one. EWC, they were really close. They've been close to champs. Like they needed one, even if it's online, they needed one to kind of know how it feels and then be able to adjust. Because I really like this Miami team. I think Drake's had a really good weekend, which is awesome. I think Super had a really good series against FaZe. I think Rencor played fine. I think Metals even had some really good maps this weekend. Like I feel really good about where Miami's at also in like playing their matchups, and if they get the right draw and play well on a weekend, like they could also parlay a really good result in Major 3. So W for both teams. Shout out the Thieves, one little thing.
What about you, Ray? I agree with a lot of that, Ben. I thought the
I mean, I don't know if I can put it any better than he put it. To be honest, I think the meta to me is more like Thieves just seem to have found their comfort. Like it looks like all the players are playing the way that they have found success and they're able to put out. And again, the meta is kind of like accentuated speed in a natural way for all the subs, and you could see the way they were going about things on the map was just. I mean, it was just clean, bro. Like they were just playing really, really, really good fundamental COD. And then again, you gotta give a shout to Ernie. Like that kid's fucking unbelievable.
He's crazy, bro. He's so
dude,
good.
It's just there's not many guys in the world that I would put my money on to win most of their gunfights. He's definitely one of them. If there was like, I wish there was like dual percentages stats or something to see how incredible he is. Just so everyone can, because we see it when you watch his POV, right? But it's just. He has to be one of the most aware players in the league and has the shot to kind of go with it, or you just never catch him lacking, and he's just such a hard kill. So not from like a standpoint like Cell, but yeah, he just doesn't miss. Like it's just you never catch him lacking, and then you have to like really shoot straight to kill him. So it's just super annoying to play against. But yeah, no, I think Thieves are back. I'd be honestly dumbfounded to not see them make a final or even have a chance to win one of these events coming down the stretch. Again, like we said earlier in the show, like I think we have like 4 or 5 teams now that are going to be battling for these final spots. It's going to be incredible to watch the COD coming down the stretch of the season. And I've bought Miami stock before and been disappointed. This is the first time all year where, to me, this team had been just found that pace button and just smashed it. Like they broke the pace button. Like these guys were moving. Yeah. Super with a sub was flying. Holy shit! Yeah, he was. He's got to be the first player all year that got a kill with a sub, an AR, and a sniper in the same series. But just absolutely. Like I am very, very on board with how they went about playing this weekend. Like these guys were, like it's the first time where I've seen how they play. Like these guys could actually win a map without outslaying a team now. Like and it was, and again, that's all props to what they've been doing in scrims and to their staff and their team. Like they definitely have found the gear that you need to have to sustain and be able to compete with the best teams. And I mean, they beat FaZe. Was the FaZe pretty convincing? Am I crazy to say it was a pretty convincing win against FaZe?
FaZe in Miami.
Yeah, can you go to FaZe Miami? I don't remember exactly how.
This is FaZe's bogey team. They've only won one of the last 7 times they played Miami. Meanwhile, Draws is tweeting out, "I've lost to like shitters." Like
they were close games. They were close games.
I mean, yeah, but like that tweet from Draws is hilarious. But it's like, bro, they got to figure out how to play better against this Miami squad. They got eliminated from champs. This Miami team, they got to want both
this year.
Yeah, they've got to want both times they played against them. Like they got to get better in this fucking matchup. Don't call them shitters. They have their number against you. Like, walk in.
That response from Metals was funny too. Did you guys see that? He tweeted his own tweet.
Yeah, that's good. No,
what did he say?
You should find that. Find that.
He just retweeted his group for the last 3 and like had the same thing back. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
What's Metals' Twitter?
I love the subtle. I think it's just Metals with 2 L's or something.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I found it.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of subtle trash talk. I like when it's like almost like sarcastic in a way, where you don't like call someone like straight ass or whatever. Like I get that the aura of it, but like I think there's so much more aura and like feel when someone just like will just nonchalantly say something just like such a slap in the face.
But here's where I think this FaZe team gets in trouble. You want to know why I think this FaZe team gets in trouble in Miami? Miami plays so fucking weird sometimes, where they'll play aggressive and then they play like absolute crud balls and they just bait FaZe into making stupid individual plays. And you saw quite a bit of times during the overload in the S&D where they're just kind of like forcing it. So I think FaZe just figure out what they got to do slightly differently to kind of counter maybe not a play style that Miami have to actually get some results, because they're going to play Miami in big matches throughout this year. and maybe a champs again, and you don't want to fucking lose them again and again and again.
And you know what, Ben?
Yeah.
What a
Yes.
segue, because that's perfectly sets me up for the next thing I want to talk about. I really want to talk about Miami's overload, because I feel like all year long, like they were trying to find their identity, and the meta kind of fits it and naturally speeds everybody up. And I remember we interviewed Trakes and we interviewed Super throughout the weekend. And I remember I asked Trakes in the interview, I said, how does it feel with this new meta? Like the ARs are speeding up. People are saying you couldn't do it. And he just had a smirk. He instantly smiled and he was like, yeah, it works. Like everybody's playing faster now. He's happy as hell. And then when we talked to Super about the overload right after the game, I asked them about their defense, because they would like have, you know, usually when a team's pushing with the ball, you'll like stack that side. He's like, we actually have no set rules. We'll have like 2 guys play by it, but the other 2 guys off spawn can kind of freedom to do what they want, and we'll play off of that. So I actually think it works well for them, just because of how fast they get to the positions, even off the spawn. And teams will like not always instantly commit to the push when they have the rock. So I wanted to kick this over to you, Ray, kind of your evaluation of that playstyle of overload and kind of their mentality towards it, because to me, it actually does seem sustainable. You might give up a couple goals here and there, but the benefits when it works, you saw on full display here.
Am I wrong to say that's how Optic plays?
Yeah, Optic does play like that sometimes, but it'll more so be like shotsy, like pushing up super quick.
Yeah, but
they
I mean,
were kind of all doing it.
Gotcha. I mean, I think that's an assessment that I would assume they made off just watching like what's been conducive to winning. Like it's still a new mode, dude. Teams are going to figure out. Teams haven't quite figured out the most optimal way to play in every situation. And as we go on through the season, we'll see the meta improve and teams get to a place like the overload we saw this weekend. To me, especially from the top teams. I mean, mostly from the top teams. We won't go for the bottom teams, but it was honestly the first time this year where I felt like, okay, this is like high level overload. Yeah. Like from all the teams, like we've seen it from like obviously Optic has shown, like Falcons also had some good stage too. Like we've seen individual teams kind of pull out, but like this weekend we actually saw 2 teams play against each other at super high level efficiency and played the pace you need to play to be able to win, and it was so much fun to watch. Like
so fun.
Like this map you're showing, like I can't remember enjoying watching a COD map as much as I did this one. Like I was on the edge of my seat from the start to finish, and it was just, you could just see strategically how these teams are going about it, and it was so much fun to watch. It was just like good play after good play after good play. It wasn't a team just like making a bad play. It was a good team countering a good play. Like it was so sick. So
this might be map
huge
of the
props. Huge props for Miami for taking it their game to where they're at now. Like I think sky's the limit for this team. We've talked up like the whole Real thing, like coming in and being a sub on a team. Like, bro, I think Trakes is incredible.
Yeah.
I think their current roster mold really shows. They've showed this weekend that like, hey, they have it. Like they can easily, not easily, but they can compete with the best when they're playing their best. And Slang, again, what's important for me and the way we talk about our teams today, but Slang has never been a problem for this team. It has always been about kind of pace and efficiency and making their kills work. And this weekend they were good at that. And if they keep moving forward and find a way to push that across all modes, this team is going to make a final major this year potentially, and at least show up to give themselves a chance to do it. And I think sky's the limit.
I agree, Ray, because their search is never shaken. It's always been good. Like, and it's going to remain good the way that they play S&D. And like what I saw from the overload, like, I mean, even just like here's a good instance of it. Just like how aggressive. I mean, it's go button off the rip. It's like, okay, I need to delay. Oh, these guys, he peeks. He's like, oh, they're slowing down. I'm just going to go flank and make a play here then. I trust you guys. Like I commend it so much, chat, and people watching and listening, because it's so easy to kind of just like have the same stale play style all year long. Like these guys talked about the way they wanted to approach overload, like practice it and like literally applied it. And like, they got to practice late. So like that, to me, that's so awesome. Like these guys are.
I hate to cut you off, Ant, but can you go back to that play?
Yeah.
And tell me who the player that actually flanked there?
I
saw it, but I want you to tell me who it is.
The player that flanked?
Who's the player that flanks in the play you just brought up?
Rancor, baby.
Who would Rancor would have flanked earlier in the season or
exactly.
before, bro?
Like that is a conversation. That's all. And look how fast it is, right? Like he recognized instantly.
Instant.
It's like, okay, they're slowing down. My teammates are dojo, bet. And like even like the play of Super delaying here, guys, is also massive. You know what I mean? Like the spawn up here out of Super.
Well, it's community. He's probably like Rancor's got to be communicating that in a way. Like he's basically telling where the line is for the opposing team, and then setting where players are going to be up on the map, so his teammates behind him know where to stop and look. Like that's, bro. If this is, to me, this, like, I mean, this is a one play situation. I don't know how much they were doing it. Like, I didn't follow individual players to that extent through the series, but this is a show. This is just showing if a team and players individually adapting to what's needed to win. And this is such a good sign for the Miami fans and moving forward for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is this is like, so maybe some people can understand better. Look at the situation they get in here. This is an offensive push from FaZe, and it turns into a trap from Miami. You got Rancor flanking, this guy's holding the pinch, and these guys are here. Like, essentially, FaZe is straight up trapped here, and it just volleys into their hand, right? So, yeah, just awesome stuff out of them for this weekend, and I'm on board. I think Miami's going to be good the rest of the year if they continue this play style.
I'm buying Miami stock again, but I really hope I don't have to sell it again.
Yeah, if we get to land Ben and they lose their minds.
Oh, no.
Bro, I really did.
Yo, Ben, what's up, man? We start watching VOD and you start scrolling the TO? What's up, man?
I got an important text. I had an important text I got to respond to, but
okay.
I kind of agree with Ray's assessment. I just really think the Miami ball is like much improved, which is funny because like Super was talking about how much he hated this meta, but I mean, I guess they're adapting to it well. Their S&D looks a lot better, which is nice. And like,
Ben, let me say something. Yeah. You said something extremely important here to me. Like, he said he didn't like it, but they are understanding. It's probably just from a comfort level standpoint.
Yeah,
like, they have to play fast. They understand that, and they're doing it. Yeah. This is such a good like if that's the case, if what I'm saying is true, like who knows? Again, I'm assuming, but let's say it is true. Like, this is such a good learning point for these players for their personal growth through their stages of their careers, because this is going to show they're capable of doing things in different ways, which is so important to be able to do if you want to sustain to have a long career in CDL, because the games we play are somewhat different every year in a way.
Yeah,
so
good point.
It's so good for them, bro.
Wow, I mean, that's a great point, right? Because now everybody on the team knows, and they can look at each other and be like, okay, all right, let's change our play style to do this. Like, it's possible, right? So, yeah, good for them going forward. I agree with both you guys. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, we kind of hit on it already, so we don't have to spend a lot of time. Thieves is S&D. Ben, you talked a lot about it. My thing is, and especially in this Optic series where they won both searches, I thought it was great. So, like, the gridlock, when I was watching, they kind of, playing a little bit more aggressive. They find a guy out of position, they'd fly at him, a BZ going on the 8 streak, Hydro's challenge stuff. And then when we get to the game 5, completely slowed the game down, played like championship search and destroy, just stuff I haven't seen from Thieves, like differing play styles from map to map 1, and then just kind of like, playing with what the other team gives you, right? Not many teams have been able to beat Optic in 2 searches as convincing as they did. Like, it deserves a little bit of tip, in my opinion. And I can't believe it took this long for them to figure it out. Maybe it was just adding some new maps, but hey, shout out to Thieves, man. The search was good, really good.
I think what they did a really good job of, the way it seems like a lot of teams are kind of setting up the thought process on this map, you take one of your SMG players and one of your AR players and you pair them off at A/B. And like, your main AR player is either playing, like, it train side is either playing that like back rock spot or he's holding barn. And on the other side, the AR is either holding like the alley or is pushing up, and we're team shooting 10. And then if we get flooded out of A, then we're gonna like either take the hallway together or we're taking the alley together. And like, I think Niam and Scrap did a good job like not scamming on defense on this map. They made it really difficult for Optic to find openings and shooting a guy out of like barn, shooting a guy back alley, and then holding enough numbers that they were in a retake spurt situation or late round situation. They had the numbers to force trades and back up a BZ or Paco making an entry play. But that was really like solid fundamental defense they were playing.
Yeah. Not Ben, facts, bro. It's a great assessment of the game. I agree with that. Niam, he spends a lot of time back barn, just kind of staying alive, obviously, which is very important on this map when teams try to go train. Scrap's a monster inside of bricks. He just gets information. He'll rip you inside of 10. He'll go mid square and back you down. Like, yeah, this map kind of fits their playstyle really well. What was your assessment of their search and destroy this weekend, right? Because I thought they showed a lot of different looks. Playstyle. I
mean, against the good teams, they won 3 of the 4 maps they won were new maps. Like, they won Fringe twice and then Gridlock once, and then the other one was a Scar in the finals. I do agree. I think just dude, like the meta, I feel like everything has just been a perfect storm for them. Like, not taking anything away from how they're playing or what they're doing. I just think from a comfort level standpoint, this speaks to them a lot more compared to like a Colossus Surge or a map where it's just really there's not much you can do. I'm even surprised they played Scar. I would think that's one of the maps that these guys would not want to play. Maybe they were finding success before. But just the what's the word I'm looking for? The creativity you can have on how you go about playing some of these maps is much more in line with how search has been in the past, where there's so many more different situations. Like even the play you just showed about, like where Paco is, like he's playing a credit for to push through. They're playing arounds. They're taking info. You can take time.
It's a shitty play.
This guy is selling, but
this is stupid fucking play. Like.
There's so many more different avenues and ways to find success and how the new maps are playing to me. That is, again, way more in line with what these guys have been used to playing. So I think kudos to them for figuring out how to play them quicker than everyone else. They definitely found success. I think I feel like we've only scratched the surface on how some of these maps can be played and certain things. There's so many different strategies you can run. Like there's just so many different lanes, so many mentalities you can have about how you approach these new maps that is going to be really fun to watch. And I think even better for the teams that are actually good at search and able to be creative. So yeah, huge plays.
Let me go back because there was something I saw here.
As you pull it up,
go ahead.
Real quick, I will say just real quick on the optics side, because we were talking about in chat. The one thing is a flip side for optics. I felt like this weekend, specifically that match against Thieves, I'll be honest, I think Ant tried a lot of his crazy push plays and he just wasn't getting the timing on it. And it's like you kind of live and die by those. And this weekend, like unfortunately in search, I think solo plays were and net positive on a lot of these situationals, especially earlier.
No, that's
go ahead, Ant.
So this is one thing I wanted to pull up. Because this is what would always happen with Thieves. I mean, we talk about this ad nauseum, like Hydra on an island, the team getting pushed, and him just kind of doing his own thing. And it happened here, and I was like, oh shit, it's over with. Like, this is what's about to keep on happening. But as soon as this round goes south, bro, they all leaned forward, locked in, and Hydra was with the team, man. Like this is the type of shit I wanted to see. Like, you can try to make these plays. Once you realize the shit's not working, then we got to get together and start playing off of each other. And it just ended up working out way better for them. Paco this next round has the bomb in hand. Like, these guys are taking space mid, getting information, like just different looks. And like getting Paco more involved on the team side of things, I think helped them a lot, at least on this gridlock. And it was just a stark difference from this map to the game 5. So I thought the preparation, creativity out of them, top notch this week. And they also were putting Scrap in a lot of great positions. On the fringe, he was mid-map a lot. In bricks, playing for picks, playing for info. You got to get that guy involved, like in the round, being able to make plays and help everybody out, because he is, at times the best AR, if not the best AR in the world, right? So, like, this round to me is awesome. Took space mid, you got to pick, and then we regroup. Paco didn't like sell his life, and we're regrouping and we're pushing bomb. Like, this is so good, right? And I agree with you, Ray. I think the maps kind of cater their playstyle a little bit more, but hey, man, take advantage.
I mean, I don't think it's a playstyle. It's just more so like they offer way more strategic abilities than the previous maps, where you're kind of stuck doing 1, 2, or 3 things. You can do so many different things here. You can feel out the map. You can make people maneuver in certain ways to where you can approach like certain situations differently every time. Mm-hmm. And like again, they're more conducive to teams that are actually going to be playing search well and are able to mix up their strategies even more.
Look at this shit, bro. This is awesome right here. Like they're all A. All right, back the hell up out of there. Don't take a chow. Regroup. Let's go. I know it sounds so simple, but they weren't doing this, bro. Like they weren't.
Optic misplayed this. This round you're showing Optic misplayed this.
They did. But this is what happens though. When you don't give a pickup, teams misplay shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're forcing them to make a good play, and they did make a good play, I guess. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is where if Optics need to commit that fucking A plant, and then like if the stuns came out, then we can back off and like not blood, but like they just let themselves just get nade pushed. And
what they're thinking here is because they have like inside the mind of Optic here is what they're probably thinking is like, okay, these guys are kiting, they're alone, we have 4, we can bully them out, right? That's what Optic's thinking. So they're trying to bully.
Yeah, but I my counter that, and this happened in this map all the time, is if you remember this map from Black Ops 4. Is the trap situation though, because the other team is just going to blind throw nades through these fucking doors, and if you don't have trophies down, you're going to get stunned. We saw this all the time.
You're right,
Black Ops 4 is the exact situation on this map.
It is like a concept in your head though, where it's like, okay, they're going to give us this space. Let me get pushed up because the retake's already going to be trapped.
Like you're getting baited, like in fucking Madden. Like you got to be a little bit mindful that like they have a counter strategy here once they get backed off.
But teams don't always like retake that space properly. You know what I mean? So
So it's like not this fast either.
Yeah, exactly. So like the fact
Like
that
I haven't seen that much of the map yet, but from the scrims and the matches that I've been with the Stallions, we haven't seen that many teams do this yet, where they kind of like prep an instant retake and try and retake while you plant, because they're technically until they get damage on Shotzi pushing forward here, I'm assuming their mentality is to just like time the play when we get out the space, and then make him like the optics probably gonna react to where someone's pitching like sixes. You see how six turns around, like and turns around. Obviously, he took damage, but like immediately they're thinking, okay, our pinch is open. Like we pushed up enough time has passed where Thieves can be pinching, and now Thieves is going to use the numbers forward. Like this is just an element of using your numbers. Like it's really well played.
And if you're Optic, you gotta be mindful. Merc didn't have a trophy. I don't know. I think Brandon's your other trophy player. Like if we don't have either two trophies up, we got to be careful. It was down.
Yeah,
they threw it too late though.
Yeah,
they threw it after.
They threw it early. No, they threw it early. They threw it on
it just was in the doorway. I don't think it stopped the initial nades, right? Because it's behind this fucking box.
Well, no, it wasn't even initial nades. It wasn't even initial nades. It's just Paco gets in and gets these shots down. But realistically, we're arguing, like, not even arguing. There's no point to even talk about. The thing to talk about here is just the fact on how Thieves bait them into this. Because most teams
played this well.
Most teams are going to try to take the space, Ben. All the little things like, do we have a trophy down, this, that, or the third? Like, most teams are gonna take the space, and so however it plays out from there, whatever. But like this is just great from Thieves. Like this is good shit.
This is great at Thieves.
Yeah, so I could see them in a final, like straight up. Like they played good enough this weekend.
How could you not?
Yeah.
Like again, it's all the things that I felt like we were having harping our issues with how they were going about things are seemingly out the window, at least for the maps that we've seen so far. So it's just a matter of them actually doing it when it matters now. And how with the players they have on their team, how would you think they're not going to do it when it matters?
And guys, as we have talked about time and time again, when we see a lot of new maps come in, the team that's good at that usually wins the next event, because that's the majority of the maps are getting played in that tournament, especially in key matches. And Optic have kind of struggled a bit on some of these new maps. They've had some positivity, but I think the gridlock sometimes been a little bit rough. They got to adapt a little bit. Thieves have hit the ground running with these new maps.
Shotzi is getting caught a lot. I mean, by himself. Like he's probably gonna have to find that happy medium of like, all right, teams are kind of getting better. Like,
and he will.
He will. Yeah.
It's always a process with him. So, like, no pun intended. So
he will.
You just gotta adapt.
Everyone always reacts to everything he does, and it's like, oh my god, this guy's so great. And then the next minute he doesn't go, oh my god, this guy's so bad.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Is that your Donald Trump impression? What the fuck was that?
By the way, last thing I'll point out, look at my boy Fly BZ right here. Watch this right here. 3v3. We know they're rapping. Like we're not gonna be able to set up like a perfect retake here. We're kind of out of position. They could be anywhere up top, down low. Fuck it. Send it, bro. We got a 5-2 lead. That's what I like to see right there. That's vintage.
Play to win.
Vintage and Beezy. None of this corner camping pussy-o bullshit. This is the Tyler Beezy go and challenge possible gunfights and win that shit, or fucking mid-percentage gunfights is in a clutch. That's what he's on the team.
Niam went, Hook's pushing up B? Bet. A Beezy said bet. I'm in there.
The way he challenged was so good too, because he was like kind of going he was going for the stairs heady almost, like he would change his angle. Like that, the corner Kyler was in to me isn't a good corner at all, bro. Like that's like he's getting info from top, which is probably why he's playing it. But if someone challenges the back door and expects this corner, then it's dead.
Yeah. So this is well played. The Thieves look really good on this map. They look good on a lot of the maps.
He was moving, bro.
It's just if you're a Thieves fan, it's what you've been waiting to see in their fucking search. Like I hated how much a pussy fucking search ball they played for about 4 or 5 months, and now they're actually playing that aggressive style, and I love it, bro.
Yeah, it's great.
You want to do a few call-ins before we cut out, or no?
We already did basically stock up, stock down, so we can do a couple call-ins, guys. I'll link it into here.
We'll stick around for like 10 more minutes, and then I'll dip.
Let's see. Join up,
so
guys.
keep your questions quick, guys. Limit it to one question only today, because we don't have a lot of time.
Oh no, go to the stage. Hold on, my bad. Like that. All right. This has been a really fun episode, by the way, chat. I just love watching the VOD, bro. It tells a story.
We should do a VOD only episode.
I would love to do that. Especially when you get this.
We might ruffle some feathers. But
we might.
That's what it is, bro.
That's fine. Hey, listen, but here's the thing about
I'm trying to get a coaching job next year, guys. Let's calm down here. I don't want to ruffle too many feathers.
No, here's the thing, Ray. If we do a VOD episode, I will welcome any coach, any player in here to talk about the scenario. I would love that. If anybody wants to come in and argue us or go back and forth, we can sit here and we could talk about it. So that would be fun, especially if we get people involved. But let's get the first guy in here. Mr. Frankie Mojo, what's up, brother?
Mojo's back.
It's me. All right, I'll make it quick because I gotta get going too. We've heard a lot of talk about the NPC. By the way, I missed the first half of the show, so I'm sorry if you guys already talked about this. You could just skip me if that's the case. There's been a lot of talk about the NPC, a lot of talk about it being overpowered and this and that and blah blah blah. I still think, me personally, after like 12 meters, it's a pretty fair fight, I would say. I don't think it's personally overpowered. However, it is a shotgun up close. And as far as I can tell, it's because specifically of the headshot multiplier. I want to know if you guys behind the scenes have heard any talk about Treyarch potentially nerfing the headshot multiplier for the NPC to help improve its competitive balancing. If not, is that something that you guys plan to bring up to the Treyarch devs?
I don't think it's how it works, Frankie. I don't think you can just nerf one gun's headshot multiplier. I think that's just the game. This game has insane headshot multiplier.
Has all the content for a while.
Treyarch's design philosophy in general has been to have low headshot multipliers since, like, I want to say Black Ops 4. This one does have a higher headshot multiplier than Black Ops 6, but even then, Black Ops 6 also had a pretty low multiplier. So
I just don't think they're gonna make that tweak. I think they could probably tweak individual gun multiplier headshots. I don't know if it's gonna make that much of a difference with the NPC due to a number of other factors that makes that gun better than Dravik. So,
well, the NPC.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of other. Go ahead.
The NPC headshot multiplier. It's not different per attachment, by the way.
I know, like, the muzzle on the M15 makes the headshot multiplier crazy, or like not the multiplier, but just makes you get more headshots. So maybe it's just attachments.
Listen, I watched like every exclusive Ace video that he's ever put out. The only thing that changes that is the damage barrel, and by that I mean not the damage range barrel, the one that literally changes the headshot multiplier. But of course, that's G8 on like every gun ever, right?
I'll be honest, Frankie. I kind of just focus on their arrows, where they're going, and shooting my gun.
No, that's fine. But I guess my overall point here is that, like, you know, if we want to improve the NPC and just make it as balanced as possible and remove that like shotgun type of situation that we're seeing every now and again, it's the headshot multiplier, because it can kill in 3 bullets in a perfect situation. Reducing the headshot multiplier would obviously fix that. So I'm wondering if there's been a conversation about it, and if not, is that something that you guys, with your connections, is that a conversation that we might see heading into, say, like stage 4? Because, you know, I think the gun
stuff, it's probably not possible. Pros are more like, they're gonna be the ones on the forefront of that, like, obviously mostly because
they're not on the forefront of fucking anything on that shit anymore. They've been mostly
they've been testing different attachments and stuff. It was different from this week, from the first.
Yeah,
week.
they've been hold on. They've been testing different attachments for their own purview of a meta they want to fucking GA, but they're not doing it on behalf of Lawrence Madden and fucking Treyarch.
Why do we feel like it's not in a good spot though? Because Scrap was just like the MVP. Like, he was.
No, hold on. It is in a good spot. The NPC, in my opinion, is in a good spot. I'm just trying to get it just a little bit better by removing those like shotgun type scenarios that AR players are complaining about, right? Because again, it can kill in 3 bullets if you land either 2 or 3 headshots. I forget which one. So that's all I'm saying.
You shouldn't have headshot multiplier, but that's a whole nother fucking conversation.
That shouldn't be a thing in kind of.
Right. That's another one that we can.
Yeah,
I think to answer your question, I don't think anyone's having. It's an interesting idea. I just don't think anyone's having that convo on the CDL level. My guess is from the studio level, and I like, you know, they want the gameplay to be fun and quick because it caters to the hardcore fan base that's still playing the game right now and spending money, and they don't want to deviate from that and kill the dope of those players. So they stop playing and they stop spending money, and then they get yelled at by the people upstairs.
Yeah, that's fair, but you know, I think with your connections, right, especially since you guys talked to the devs recently with you know, map pools and all that stuff, I think I'm encouraging you guys to reach out to them, because Treyarch being Treyarch, I think that's something that they would consider. Me personally, that's all I got for you boys today.
Thanks, Frankie.
Well, appreciate the question, man. Thank you so much.
All right, boys.
Heavy question.
I fear Frankie
It's a good
might be
question.
our
It's
only
just-
question today.
It's a good question, but it's like not. You're saying like it's not.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's a bit. It's it's not my best question. I got it, but
No, that's a good question.
Frankie, do you have another one? Because you might be our only call-in on the day. So.
I mean, shit. Let me see if I can think of one off the top of my head. I guess I'll go back to one of my other earlier questions from a couple weeks ago, where I asked you guys about teams that didn't make any changes heading into the third split, and would they have regretted it? Are there any teams you guys think are still considering it before we head into stage 4? Is it a little too late for that? What do you guys think? Again, I missed the first half of
I feel like we've been
the
through.
show.
Yeah, we did.
So.
You probably just have to
I
watch
think
the-
I can answer this question. I think with the event in 2 weeks, I think it's unlikely that anyone's going to make a change at this point, considering that all the teams make the pro-am group. So if there's going to be a roster made, it's going to be after this event.
I agree. I'm just checking.
The only one that might like be forced is if like the Falcons thing becomes to a level of untenable that the players are just like benching themselves type shit. Like we're just not going to play.
Well,
And it
that
becomes a whole dust up. Like that's the only situation right now where I think it'd be forced to rotate someone.
All right, but yeah, you
Thank you,
guys
Frankie.
looks like you guys got another one before I head out. Again, NPC, I think it's in a good spot, but reach out. Let's try to see if we can make it just a little bit better by reducing that multiplier. That's all I'm thinking. All right, boys, have a good one.
Thanks, Frankie.
Too, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
He must be getting ripped in ranked play. Talking shredded, bro.
He was having his way to Dragman, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm getting smashed."
He's getting
Like, I
absolutely
like
jumped
it.
on by people that say.
What up, processor? How you doing?
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm doing good. I don't really have a question. I kind of just wanted to, I guess, get in here. But so for Major 3, what amateur teams do you see like actually making a run?
Ooh.
Who did P7
Rock
pick up?
is
then?
Rock is the most interesting because I just don't know with the way Kicks in that play. They play pretty quick, but I don't know with Blackheart out and the map pool. I don't know against pro teams. I'm very curious to see how they score up. It'll depend on the draw because they're going to be in Group D. They have the most pro points by far, and no one's going to catch up to them. So they're for sure, and whoever is in Group D. P7's interesting, but like that's the type of team that then they play a pro team, and like I don't know. Right now in NA, it's super wide open. Right now in EU, it's super wide open. As far as who might get the next 2 spots, so it's a better question to like ask us. You know, what I'm saying like specific players who might like World Star. Like Snoopy might be really good in this meta against pros.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Snoopy with
someone-
NPC on P7, kind of a good fill-in for
P7 is good.
who they lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see Snoopy getting his get back.
The only thing with P7 is that if Bush make it and I think Geo's team have more pro points than P7 right now, so like that would bump P7 into like the AB category, which where number 1, number 2 seeds are going to be, as opposed to 3-4 kind of situation. So we'll see who calls from NA and EU to kind of realign that. Right now they'd be in C.
Ray, you got to go.
Yeah, I got a dip.
All right, bro. Thank you for the episode, man. Everybody show Ray some love. W Rambo in the chat. Absolute
Good
genius.
episodes.
Thanks, bro.
Take it easy, fellas.
Peace, brother. All right. But yeah, thanks, processor. Appreciate that.
Gotcha. Later, guys.
Later.
You want to take the rest of these call-ins or you got a dip?
We can do these last 2, but I got my franchise game here in 10 minutes.
Oh, do you want to just dip then? Do you want to go warm up?
Oh, we got 2 more. Let's do Joser and Heavyweight real quick.
Okay.
Yo, what up, Joser? Joser, you're muted.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, we can hear you.
If you guys had $2,000 to your name and you had to place it on who do you think's gonna win champs, who would you pick?
Nice try. Betting advice in here. I'd put it all on the Riyadh Falcons.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, bro, like Optic or Phase. I mean, if you want to get great odds, Thieves. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's Optic, and if you want to play the odds, I'd do
are
Thieves,
cash
'cause
outs
they'll be-
available? If cash outs are available, put on Heretics and then cash out before the tournament starts.
Yeah.
But yeah, no betting advice in here, Joser. Nice try. Back to the audience you go. All right, here we go. The actual final Oh, what a question.
Holy shit. That's a good question. I have it.
Heavyweight, what up, man?
Yo.
What's up, bro? What's your question?
Hey, big fan of y'all. Quick question. What's y'all's what is y'all's state right now in the Call of Duty League? Like, how do y'all think it's been going so far?
Probably better
like from the past.
I mean, I think there's a lot of. So, like, we had a call with Daniel Say last week. I got a little bit annoyed today because, like, we had the call. I felt like there were some great things that Daniel said. There were obviously some things that he dodged. There are some convictions that he has that I just don't think the community agrees with. But overall, I thought it was a good combo. And then two of the people on that call, like, basically just club farmed and said that it was a productive combo. So that kind of tilted me. But, like, I think, like, where the league's at right now is I think there's a lot of things that they're improving. I think reaching out to non-American audiences in Spain, France, and MENA is really good, smart play on their part. I think leading into the watch party kind of ecosystem and using that for growth is great. I think they're getting really good event attendance and embracing 2 DreamHacks a split is a year is really good. I think they need to rethink the finals format. I think they need to try and get more pro-am content as possible, especially in the off season, early in the season. And eventually weed out these fucking bottom teams so we can, bring in franchises like in Vancouver and Carolina that are going to actually like interact and grow the community. If they do that, they're going to path to exceed the CWL. Right now, they're starting to really get back to what was making shit good before COVID.
I agree.
I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
I think it's growing, man. I think it's getting good.
I mean, I definitely think it's growing. I agree with what Ben said, expanding to different regions. I also think like whenever we've been trying like new things with some of these stages, like the last one, everybody playing everybody, which I thought was great. The minor tournament here was awesome. I do think there's like, we need to get all the players in the same place more. And if that's just like having one of the minors on land, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple small changes that, Ben talks about a lot and we talk about a lot, at the golf course and stuff. Like, I feel like if we had primetime games and like more marketing around those, it would help a lot with just the online matches. So I think that's something that they should, collaborate with teams and kind of figure out how to get that going. I think would be great going forward. But overall, I think the league's like in a good spot and it's really fun to watch this year. I don't agree with everybody that I shouldn't say everybody, but I don't agree with the sentiment that's out there that league matches aren't fun to watch, because when 2 good teams play each other, they are fun. And when there's stakes, right? And it's like, and when it's different from each stage, I thought the minor in this split was really timely. It was a good time to have it, given where all these teams are at. And then the meta change, we need to have these consistent. I think everybody will agree now in hindsight, this is awesome. The new maps, new gun, this is great. We need to embrace it way more. Just the shift in like, teams like the Thieves and like the Heretics getting a boost from the game changing is fantastic, right? This is how esports should work, in my opinion. So I think we need to keep this going and be consistent stage after stage after stage. And our esport will continue to grow. So
the biggest change, the biggest North Star is more matches where the top teams are playing top teams and less matches I have to watch where Vancouver and fucking Carolina play each other. No disrespect to those teams. Just not interesting matches. People want to see the good shit. This tournament format worked because all the shitties were out by fucking Friday and Saturday, the middle of the day, Saturday and the Sunday, we had good games. That's what we need to see more of.
We just need prime time. We said it yesterday, Ben. It's just Saturday night, Sunday night, prime time matches, bro.
Good shit. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the minor. It was actually fun to watch.
See more of that. Just, bro, go look at Friday's fucking schedule. That shit is just like, and no one's gonna tune in to watch that. It's just they need to do more with the tournament formats. Daniel, when we had that call last week, was like, yeah, that's something we're looking at with online. We're trying to do more tournament formats. Group stage, maybe in the, we'll give example of group stage into a bracket. Like doing something where the stakes are higher, the good teams are playing the good teams, and we're not just sitting there bored to death watching 3-3-0s where fucking Thieves, FaZe, and Optic beat up on Carolina,
when you
Vancouver,
tune in
Boston,
at 7 p.m., it should just be a banger every day, bro. There should be a primetime slot. I'm fully on board with that. But
Okay, one more question for y'all. It'll be short.
real quick.
What are y'all shooting in golf? What's y'all's lowest?
My lowest is a 95, and I've shot 96 at back-to-back rounds, so we're improving.
Oh, okay.
I think were you at the airport round where I shot 79 last year? I think you were.
Yeah, you were balling that day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was frying at that. I saw that
We-
unbelievable golf.
We're playing a lot
All
of
right,
golf
boys.
right now.
Big fan of y'all. Keep doing y'all's thing, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
bro.
it, heavyweight. Thank you.
Yes,
we're
sir.
getting a lot. We're getting a lot of golf, and I need to drive the ball better. If I do that, like I'm gonna get back to
Oh, you'll be
the good
hooping.
scores I put in like 3 weeks ago. I just can't. I can't hit fucking fairways right now. It sucks. I'm
Which
like
is
punching
weird.
now, and then I'm hitting a wedge, and like I'm hitting it to 15, 20 feet, and then I'm at like not a 100% makeable play. I had a couple of insane up and downs. You saw it fucking yesterday.
No, your
Bailing
wedge
up and
game
downs,
was
but-
dialed. I'm just happy
Yeah.
that I'm on the dance floor putting for par more often than not now. Am I
Yeah,
making these putts? Maybe not.
that's gonna get you cracking low 90s and high 80s. Like doing that shit will get you like where you want to be, progressing downward instead of like the high 90s or low
Yeah.
down hundreds.
There was just a couple of holes like the par 3 where I freaking chunked it, kind of screwed me. That was terrible. And then I chunked the chip yesterday, but it's there. Anyways, though, thank you guys for watching and listening. Shout out to BENJ for his insight. Great episode. We got heated this one. We're always not going to agree, but it's good TV, and we're very passionate. So appreciate you guys. Leave a like. Make sure you guys leave a review if you're listening on Spotify. And thank you very much. Until next time, guys. Take it easy. Great
Good
episode,
show.
Ben. That was a good show. Gotta go
I'll
play my
tune in your Madden
game.
game for a bit. I'll go tune your Madden game for a bit. I'm playing my game later, so it's just I gotta play fucking. Have you played fucking?
Who?
Have you played Demetrius yet this year or no?
No, he's
He's a
really
Commanders.
good.
I know.
He's really good.
I have really tough games coming up. It's gonna be tricky,
I
bro.
played Jace last night and absolutely gave him belt. So gotta do that again. I'm playing the Raiders right now. Have you played the Raiders?
No, I haven't played the Raiders yet.
See how this goes, I suppose.
I threw against Realized in the first quarter, and then I almost came back in that game. Every game's a heartbreaker. All right, I'm gonna bounce. Good luck with your game.
Thanks,
And
bro. GG's. Yep.
Later, go.
That was a fun episode, chat. Let me go to this Discord. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, guys. And we got our Madden game, so just fair warning, I'm not that great at Madden, but like I'm decent. Get a little bit of practice in real quick. So I'm gonna use the bathroom chat, and then we'll be.
Now that I'm not muted, what I was saying before I was muted is like, I like the show. We had some good disagreements. I think Ant is like, I'm glad that Ant said the part about Xnid, the Xnid situation. I hope people caught on to what he said, because it's, do you understand that? You understand the pickle that they're in and why they're so gun shy right now? And the inevitable decision that they got to make, and it's not going to be a great one for the community, and it is what it is. I think that's just the only move they got left. And I always appreciate that Ray is like trying to find the optimism in things. Like that's that's like understandable out of Ray. It's what makes him like a good quality coach. But like there are some situations like the Falcons are not going to figure it out, and Toronto will be good, but like Jamie's style is just they can win an event. It's just very low percentage the way he's playing. The numbers are unbelievably low. They are outlier numbers, and that's the problem. You don't want to be an outlier in that position in a bad way. In a good way, then it's the opposite. So that's what MC gets for selling. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I think the bigger issue with the MC move was not necessarily him joining that team. The problem is like they should have the problem, I'm gonna be honest, the problem with Falcons is that if Exon was always gonna be like hard stuck to this team, them picking up kids to have him run an AR, and also not considering how the AG and Exon playstyles are very awkward fits with each other, they should have gone a different direction there. And I called it out in the offseason about how awkward the fit was. They still wanted to eat it anyway, and like that's the original sin of the team. Like I don't like always doing the hindsight shit, but it's like we called it out when team first formed. It was like, okay, it's just a very awkward situation. Like I just think Both Exit and AG aren't, and there's no disrespect to AG. Like, they're not like the type of sub players that are making 4,000 IQ plays on the map. They are like reactionary players, and when like they're in flow, they react the right way. But like they're not seeing the game at like the way Simp does, you know. And it's going to be difficult for them to hit their overperform mark as consistently as some of these other teams. And that's why I feel like Falcons were like a pure like underperform candidate to me going into the season. I would have gone a different direction, right? If we want to keep X in, I would put X and MC. I would have put Kids on a sub, and candidly, this team kind of needed a Dan, but like that would force MC to run a flex, which I guess theoretically he could do if he's not a fucking pansy bitch about it. So the Elite's tomorrow. It starts when Wednesday is going to be the final group stage matches. There's still some stuff to play here. I'll show you the. I'll show you like the Elite situation right now. Oh God, esports. Oh, wrong fucking overlay. So this is for Challengers NA Elite Stage 3. So Elite Stage 3 right now in NA. All of Group A is qualified in. So Stallions, Torrent, For Fun, Huntsman. There's not really anything to play in Group A right now. Alec and Nissim's team's going down. Dak and Flames them are going down. The other thing is Group B. Group B has got all the stuff to play for. So Tyrod Bush need a win. They need a bunch of help here, and they can make it in. But if not, they may also not make playoffs, which would be a disappointment. But may actually, honestly, help them out. They're kind of starting to get to the territory of blow it up territory, of like big rethink territory. You can tell that like you know what we watched earlier the Bush owners meeting. Yeah, those are times in EST. We watched the Bush owners meeting, and like I think they're very frustrated with the underperformance of their team. And I also think the effort level of their team is, I think, the issue. Like, if they were getting unlucky, but the team was playing amazing in scrims and going hard, then it's like, well, it's just unlucky. But like, I can read between the lines that like, it seems like things are not going well on a daily basis there, and like they kind of know that they got to make some bigger changes. Which sucks because they've lost fucking so many players this year, bro. They lost Cap. They lost, obviously he's back on the team now. They lost Fire. They lost TJ. Like, they've churned a lot of players this year. It's tough. That's the problem with fucking challengers. You get good, and then everybody just gets fucking poached. Zin didn't say that directly, and then he kind of walked it back on the call, to be honest, Sagi. He said he was kind of assuming that someone overslept. So it was like, he kind of said it and then kind of walked it back. I got Bayern, but I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I would love for it to be a high-scoring game, but I have a feeling Bayern's going to win like 1-0 on some like bullshit. So they knew who it was. Yeah, that was a big tell for me, that like the way that Mook reacted, where he was like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like this isn't the first time it's happened, which is not what you want. People are missing scrims because they're not getting good sleep. You get one offense. You get one offense, and then it's a problem after that. It's droppable, honestly. No, I'm not trying to be a dick. It's like, if you can't consistently be a professional, then that's not, then get the fuck off the team. Like, personal conduct is the bare minimum. If you can't do that, then you got no place. Go be somebody else's fucking problem, you know? And I think the problem for Bush is like, they're in a spot now where I think they're just going to have to change their approach a little bit. Like, which sucks. Like, I think they had a really good kind of vibes thing going on, especially in the beginning of the year. But bro, I'm going to be candid. Like, you got teams like Stallions now. When you look at the players on Stallions, you know, like Icons, KB, Million, and Rupert, like these guys haven't gotten a shot in the league yet. And they're very hungry. And it's not to say that the guys in Bush are not hungry, but they've already had their turn and gotten bounced back, and they're trying to get their second or third kind of look. The Stallions guys are young, hungry, and they got Ray also like impressing on them. It's you know, Bush gonna have to catch up to some of these guys. The Yuli Geo teams are hard out. right? Like P7's a hard out. P7 whomped them when they played earlier. You know, I don't know. I feel bad for Bush. It's they're in a tough spot because if they don't make the pro-am, I don't know. Huntsman, but Huntsman also got fucked. I feel bad for Huntsman because their two best players, bro, they lost their two best players. One joined a Toronto team and got third at the last event. So he's now pretty much locked there for the whole year. And Nissim just went online. So they had Huntsman identified two good players, and both of them went to the league and they were flourishing in the league. If they were still in challengers, I think that team would be tucking, but it is what it is. They had to reload. And now they've gone out a different path. And like Huntsman are playing pretty good this stage with Brax, Foodie, Johnny, and Renegade. Like right now, this meta kind of suits them. And they topped Group A, so we'll see. We'll see, chat. Yeah, Niam's playing good. The whole team's playing good right now. They just gotta keep this going when they get to brackets starting on Thursday. Like they still gotta execute this starting on Thursday if they want to make, the pro-am, but they're in a good spot right now to keep that. They're in a good spot if they keep playing this way to keep the momentum going, Thieves getting slammed on land? I don't think so. Optic versus Huntsman on land. That could happen. So that is a possibility because if you look at the pro point situation, Huntsman right now are in the 8th overall in points in NA, and they would jump all these teams, but they would still have less points than P7. And EMEA, I kind of expect Real's team to probably win this. And so the likelihood is that Huntsman are going to have the least amount of pro points of the 4 teams that qualify, and they'll be placed in Group A. And I think Optic, to me, are probably the team that I think is. I still think that Optic are going to be Boston. I think they have a good matchup against Toronto. I think Boston, Optic and FaZe is going to come down to be on. Well, FaZe got to play Miami again. Yeah, Thieves might be the biggest competition to getting that first spot, honestly. But I think Optic could, so yeah. If they do that, I think there's a chance then they would play that first match on Friday, which would be Cinema, honestly. That'd be insane. It's definitely possible. Is website sick? Yeah. If you use the CDL tools command on the site, I've updated, should be updated with all the matches for this week, vetoes, scenarios. Don't worry about this until we get to last weekend. Champs qualification thing is updated. You can kind of putz with that, but I'm going to be honest, unless Carolina play well at this event, like, if Carolina get dead last, you see this one's basically kind of fucking chalked, honestly. Like it just basically makes this very difficult. So Vercel did have an issue where environment variables got stolen, but I don't really. The only environment variable I have is just a gate on the dev build that hides some stuff that I'm working on, but that's not really like a secret. It's just me just holding the functionality back if you're on the wrong build. So I don't have any like API keys stored in like environment variables or anything like that. Could also play each other in bracket play, true. But I think there's a very likely scenario. What I'm trying to tell you is a very likely scenario where, like, I still think Optic can get, because it's super close, I still think Optic can get this first seed and they would play. If Huntsman win, Huntsman have to win. Or the scenarios for Huntsman to get to this tournament is either have to win or they make finals versus P7. They make finals versus P7, then they're guaranteed a spot, regardless of the way that goes. If they play in finals against anybody else, the winner gets a spot. So, should I get dynamic or static up? Help phone with who? With your, well, if you're a residential service provider, why the fuck do you need a static IP? If you're at home and you're not hosting a website or tools or anything, you don't need a static IP. What would you need a static IP for? And like dynamic is like, I don't have a static. The only reason you would need a static IP is if you're linking said static IP to a DNS address because you're hosting content externally to the internet. Otherwise, there's no point. Dynamic IP, like a normal dynamic IP that refreshes every whenever the ISP does it, every 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever, is perfectly fine. It's not going to affect anything. Would Optic have to drum Huntsman if they qualify? No. And I think the EWC situation, they just wouldn't be able to use Huntsman towards Club World Cup points, but that doesn't really matter for Optic because they only in one esport right now. So my ISP's released my IP every so long and it reroutes me to a server. Use Google DNS would be my my first suggestion if you're trying to shave because you think it's a DNS issue, is use Google DNS. The ISP DNS servers are usually dog shit, and Google DNS is, what's good, Phenom? Talk to me. What's good, Phenom? Talk to me. Yeah, I went to school for it. Analytics is more just me picking up. Let me get some music going. It feels fucking empty in here. Hope challengers do well, so maybe we can have more pro-ams. I think the easiest way what the league could do, here's what I would do. Okay? Here's what I would do. Here's how you do pro-am content. Ideally, we'd have a December pro-am, like full pro-am tournament, all of Raleigh, one this spring, one EWC. It's going to be tough. I just don't know if we're going to get a December pro-am. So here's what I would do. Here's a reasonable solution. Reasonable BENJ solution. Okay? You do a land in Columbus, a holiday land after the first 2 weeks of league matches. Okay? You fly out the first cup winner from NA and the runner-up. The first cup winner from EU and the runner-up. And you get 4 of the top pro teams. You just go in like reverse order of champ standings. And you just see who wants to play it. And it's just a pure exhibition invitational with 8 teams. There's 8 team double elim over like 2 days, just play it out. That would be like a really good prove it. Like immediately for anyone that like plays really good at the beginning of the year, they could just get on a plane and then like actually start playing like top pro teams and like get like some real like early rep. You could do a more involved tournament, but that's like one way to just do it like, And I get to meet across region. Now the difficulties are flying out the international players and visas and a bunch of other stuff, but like solvable. Plaza was played twice this weekend, I think. But I think a lot of it's game 5 in a couple of series that we didn't get to game 5. Monster Energy tournament, yeah. I mean, what you could do is you could do the Monster Energy tournament and do like, you could like 2-stage it and then have the second stage play on land. So you're back, Nash. What I was saying before you left is try changing your DNS servers. Look up Google DNS. And it's not that hard to change your DNS primary and secondary servers, and it will be better than what your ISP offers. It should be faster. So you should improve your ping times a little bit on like initial, because once you already know the routing, then again how networking works. But why not have the bottom 4? No, but like, what's the point of having promotion relegation matches? Okay, think that through. What's the point of having promotion relegation matches where there's nothing on the line? No one's gonna sit there and watch Vancouver, Carolina, Boston, and C9 play some amateur teams in fucking December, the beginning of the year. Nobody's watching that. If you want to make a pro-am tournament, you need to get Thieves, FaZe, Optic. You need to get the draws to want to come and play those teams. Because the best chance for those teams to get upset is going to be early in the year. I think maybe the one risk is I don't know how many of those teams want to travel to Columbus or something like in December during the holidays, but if you guarantee like an appearance fee or something, you might be enough at that point, When it's CoDCast, you missed it, brother. You gotta watch my VOD later. Favorite match map to watch for the new maps? Probably Sake Hardpoint and the S&D is probably, I don't know, Fringe and Gridlock are kind of tied. They both kind of work in different ways. That's kind of a cop out fucking answer, but any scrims today? I'm not sure. I gotta pop off in about 20 minutes. I'll be live later because I gotta play my fucking Madden game. Yes, I'm going to Atlanta. Am I playing? I'm playing fucking I'm playing fucking I'm playing fucking Demetrius, and I think he's pretty good. So hopefully we can get a dub here soon. It's good reparations. Anything on Reddit, bro? Anything on Reddit? I looked earlier and there was like no posts. Cincy? Would I draft? I'm getting a linebacker. There's like nothing on Reddit right now. I'm getting a linebacker because I'm gonna lose both. Mendoza, like we're gonna play one more season. I don't need a rookie quarterback. I don't need fucking Love. So yes, I know I gotta get at least one dub. Trust me, I'm trying, bro. We'll get one. Yeah, I watched the AI Dashi video, Vals. You guys cooked. Watched it earlier. That show's good. Good content idea. You're gonna ask me some hard-hitting questions, I bet. Swooty clip? Oh, bro, this clip is so stupid. This clip is so dumb.
Yes, I just lost. And yes, I'm losing right now. I'm getting pissed on. But guess what, chat? I promise you we're gonna win this game. Because if life...
Bro, this guy's sweet. Oh my god, bro.
No matter what the score is. No matter if you're getting pissed
Has he
on,
seen this movie that's from? Does he know where what movie this is
there's
from?
always gonna be that new hill. No matter if you're spawning out. You're getting 100 point kill, you're getting spawn killed. You're negative. And the whole team is negative. No matter if you have 5 kills. If you die, you're gonna get to respawn up. And no matter if you keep getting spawn killed, you're gonna get to respawn back up.
Nah, Swooty's dude. This guy is actually just like. I love Swooty, man. I love Swooty, bro. He knows what he's doing. I just tip it, dude. I just tip it, bro. I just tip it. There's another Swooty clip on COD Clip. What do you fucking say?
Yo, Scump, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it, Scump. I promise you. Yo, Riley. Yo, James. Whatever y'all need me to do, I'll do it, bro. I promise you, bro. I'll throw my life away for Optic. I'll crash out. I'll give my whole life away for Optic. Whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do it tomorrow, bro. I promise. What they're gonna make me do, but I'll do whatever they need me to. Bro, chat, whatever they need me to do, I'll do it. Yo, Zinni, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Yo, Scump, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it, Scump. I promise you. Yo, Riley, yo, James, whatever y'all need me to do, I'll do it, bro. I promise you, bro. I'll throw my life away for Optic. I'll throw my life.
Bro, this guy is so dumb, bro. Bro, this guy's so dumb. Zin is in Toronto? Yeah, Zin's in Toronto. He's doing something. Actually, nobody's doing Toronto. Can't say I stream. Fucking Twooty, bro. That's all I'll say about that. Fucking Twooty. Future optic content creator? Well, Switch also playing pretty good. Like, keeps at it. You never know about league spots, man. Wait, does a new YouTube team... Wait, what's his YouTube TV news? I want to see my timeline talking about YouTube TV. Fuck off. Fully customizable multi-view now. Okay, but this is like, okay, so I see what they did. So now you can include any, on the multi-viewer, you can include any channels instead of just some, which is like a little annoying sometimes with sports stuff. And it's on mobile platforms. You can multi-view on mobile now. That's good. And the RSNs, okay, so like, but like, can I do this on fucking, on the computer, bro? This is the biggest thing is like, I watch so much YouTube TV on my fucking computer and I can't multi-view on the fucking computer, and that's like the biggest hell. I'm like, on that TV behind me, it's fucking great, especially for like college football weekends. No, it's really good. It's really good for like, I'll give you an example. What it's really good for. Like tonight, right? You got Buffalo and Boston going on at the same time as this fucking Knicks game tonight, like, and then the Sixers game. Like, there's a lot of good shit going on. So I'm just mulling on my couch after I lose this Madden game tonight. You know, I can just sit there and regain watching, you know, multiple sports at the same time. So, no, it's a W. It's a W feature. What would I do for the Optic contract? I don't know. We talked about that before. I'm down. I got some content ideas. It only looks for live TV. You can't use it for DVR shit, but like I don't know why you would use it for DVR shit. I don't know why you would use it for DVR shit, you know? No, I don't use a mini driver. Ant does. I don't need one. I hit my 3-wood pretty fucking far. So. I hit my 3-wood like probably like 245. When is Pine Park sponsoring the flank? I wish. That's my response to that. I fucking wish, bro. Bro, are the prize pick lines out for COD this weekend already? I think they are, right? It's such a good weekend last weekend. I want to keep it going. Let me see. Oh, they are up. Tone already is too. And Marshall, the 3 months of pre-issue, man. Thanks so much. Real Papani, not THCA. Don't worry about. See, listen. Did I not say that the 04 lines are gonna get bumped up? The 56.5 days are over with 04, bro. He's only 1 kill behind fucking Simp the Pimp. The amount of interactions that FaZe have is fucking insane, by the way. I was going through the stats. Sure, Jury. I'm fucking down. 04 lines are gonna get bumped so high now. I'm curious what his map ones are. They're probably like fucking like 28. Only 26.5. Really? Might still be some value there. I'm looking at serious kitties against Carolina. I'm gonna have to go through these and have a think. Because what's the actual overload place? That'd be really good. 25 for the pimp is crazy. Considering this might be a fucking scar. Yeah, they don't even try and post kitty lines for the scene on here. It's actually so funny. They've just noped them like pretty much off the rip since the team formed. They don't have thieves. They don't have thieves serious kitties either. I don't blame them. There's no money to be made there. There's no money for them to make in those markets just because it's such a lopsided game. All right, chat. A little bit of an early end to the stream today. We'll have a much longer stream tomorrow. I have a few things I got to do, but I'll be live again later for my Madden game. So you get another hour out of me later today. I'm going to do a tier list video. I'm going to record that today as well. I got to do my thoughts on like predictions for the matches. I'll probably do that later. But I'm going to go run the supermarket. Go watch this Champions League this afternoon. I'll be back probably live around 5:30. Actually, when am I playing? When am I playing, Demetrius? I think it's at 6. I'll be live probably around like 5:30. So I'll be back on then. Hopefully we can cop a Madden dub. Who is live right now? Anybody live? Who's any fucking Challengers players scrimming right now? Who's live right now? Aluka? I'm down. We haven't rated Aluka in a while. I'm down. Send you guys over to Aluka Puka Nakua. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I want to thank you so much for the subs and the resubs today. If you guys missed the show, it'll be live on YouTube shortly, or you can watch my VOD back after stream ends. But as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.